Guys, this is a tough time for this country. And honestly, I'm sorry I'm so late to releasing an episode this week. But this week was tough for me, man. I had to ask myself some hard questions. I said, there's a lot of bad stuff going on. That assassination attempt, just the country fighting even more, reality just kind of becoming more and more untethered, and people just kind of selecting this and that to be real over other things. And I didn't want to talk politics. It's like almost, I guess it's expected to like weigh in on this whole situation. And I honestly tried. I talked for 45 minutes about the whole thing, and it just sucked because my heart wasn't in it. Between us, what I really wanted to talk about this week is dicks. I wanted to talk dicks, and I was like, is this really the right time? Like, I don't want to be irreverent towards the American political system, but I'm like, who am I to just talk dicks for 2 hours straight? Like, for real, I'm talking for real, just dick talking. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I decided to go with my gut, and I said, America needs to know, how to increase flaccid length, flaccid girth, obviously erect length and girth, and just kind of getting as hard as you possibly can. What are some of the things we can do for that? And so I brought on an expert. So what's going on, we're going to jump in to a sliver of the thing that I was doing after I got done talking about all of the assassination business, which really, it was just boring. I bored myself while talking about it. I did. It's not my lane. It's not my thing. Maybe one day, if you guys are like, oh, I want to see it, maybe I'll put it on Patreon. Maybe I'll just fucking release it. It sucks. It for real sucks. Like, I'm not trying to entice anybody. It blows. It is not good. But I did finally get to talking dicks, and then brought on an expert to kind of like, ask him some questions, learn. The guy's name is Janus Bifrons, and he created what's known as phallogenesis. And dude, this for real might be the most important interview I'll ever do. It's at obviously a topic that strikes at the real heart. You think your political party's a big deal? Dude, what if I told you could get fatter? Like, and you'll see as he explains, like, a lot of us could be girth monsters if we just kept an open mind and heart to a pretty holistic approach for making your bird the best it could be. That's all I'm saying. This is the stuff we need to be talking about as a country. I know we're divided, but let's come together on this issue. Let's get harder, bigger birds, dude. All of us, for every man. That's what I'm talking about. Let's jump right in to the thing, and then you'll see. All right. Thank you, guys. That all brings me to the real thing I wanted to talk about. And that is, man, if you're still listening, God bless your little fucking heart. I recently obviously we broke down the political situation. I gave you some bad news to hopefully you can feel better at, the poor lady's expense. She eventually escapes from the brothel, so don't feel too bad. But I figured out how to increase flaccid size. I really have. Like, dude, I'm not bragging. I'm not want to be like, yeah, dude, my fucking dick's so fucking big. I'm teenest up most of the time. But the weather in Texas here is hot. I think it's absolutely a factor. My flaccid state has been, it's been like for real taking me aback. Even when I'm in the AC in my house. Like, I know obviously everyone gets like during the dog days of summer, you do get kind of like, a bit of heat dick, which, everyone's always welcome in. But dude, I've been like for real, like going to take a piss and being like, yo, bro, like my flaccid state. And this is my theory. And this is the only thing that's changed is I'm crushing water, dude. I'm hitting like a gallon a day. I'm not bragging. I have the Mountain Valley 5-gallon glass container water coolers. So stoked. But I've been crushing a gallon of water a day. And I think my theory for flaccid gains, I swear to God, flaccid gains is a dragon I've been chasing. I don't even care about my boner, dude. It is what it is. My boner is but a tool for the creation of life. My flaccid state is when I'm more kind of, that's my thing that's the dragon I'm really chasing. And I've learned if you want to increase your flaccid state, hydration and mindset. It's those two things. If you're kind of nervous or squirrely, your dong will shrink up. You will if you can take a deep breath, confidence mode, and you're well hydrated, dude, I swear by this. my flaccid state has been like put it this way. If someone snapped a photo of it, I'd be like, yeah, send it up. That's all I'm saying. It's nothing impressive or anything. People are like, holy fuck. But it's absolutely serviceable. And honestly, I feel like if like the last couple bathroom breaks I've taken, if I had to take that, my lifetime acting goal is to be an extra on HBO and show my penis. So if I ever get to do that, I have the exact recipe. Obviously, I'm not going to be biggest on the block, but it'll be like if I was on Westworld, like standing around a bunch of robots, and I would be proud. Like, yeah, that's my dick. I'd be proud of it. You know, it is what it is. It would. I was like, yeah, that's me. So, and to kind of, I do want to delve into this matter a little further. So, I have an expert I'm going to talk to hopefully tonight, and I can kind of just splice this right in here about how to get your dick bigger. Because, you know, if the political world's falling apart and we're all addicted to our phones, we might as well have big ass dicks. So I think that's very important. So hopefully, let's see. Hopefully we're pinging him in right now. Come on, brother. Come on. It took a lot to fucking convince this guy because he was weary. But I said, brother, the dudes need to know how to get bigger hogs. He claims that fapping shrinks your dick. What do you think about that? It's unwelcome news. Let's hear him out. All right, there you go. Dude. All right. Thank you so much for joining. I mean, totally saving the day. I didn't know what I was going to do this week. See, and I'll tell you, I'll start off before I introduce you. I'm going to tell you how we kind of crossed paths. It was really weird. So, and it weirdly enough had to do with that whole mess this week with former President Donald Trump. So that whole thing happened to him, whatever. Terrible thing. But it kind of, this spilled off of it because I'm sitting there, everyone's just flooding the internet with, you know, hot takes about politics, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what's nobody talking about right now? I said, you know what I'm going to talk about? The fact that every time I drink a gallon of water every day, my flaccid state is just the most remarkable. And I was like, nobody's talking dicks right now. So I'm going to fill the void. I'm going to corner the market. I'm going to talk dicks when no one's paying attention. People are doing other stuff. So I jump in, I start talking dicks online. I'm talking about, you know, flaccid state for me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's all hydration and mindset. What would you say about that?
Hydration, mindset for sure. But the other thing is, which is where my work comes into play, blood vessel growth specifically.
Whoa. And that's okay. So good. So we'll get into all that stuff. But yeah, it was weird enough. So I put this tweet out about that specifically, and it like hit, I think the subreddit, my brother saw it and he was like, yo, check this out. And he was like, check out. And I think you came up somehow through that tweet. You came up in the subreddit as well, what you were doing. He was like, dude, check this out. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. So that's how I came to discover you. And It's Janus Bifrons, correct?
Janus Bifrons. I was going to ask you about your last name too. Like how do I say that last name?
McCusker.
McCusker?
Got it. You nailed it.
Okay.
So Janus, introduce yourself. What do you do? You were just starting to explain it to me. It sounds fascinating. So what do you do? And I'm glad you agree about my flaccid size theory, because it is, I swear to God, it's hydration. And it is mindset. If you're walking around here nervous, dude, you're going to shrimp up.
Yeah, you're gonna shrimp up pretty fast. So I got my start in I guess I'll wind it way the fuck back. I got fascinated with like blood vessels after I got out of bodybuilding when I was in my very, very like early childhood, you know, like teens and stuff like that. I'd gotten really heavy into the bodybuilding scene. Blew up on steroids, you know, like got just huge, and ended up having a pretty bad episode where I'd grown too fast and my skin came apart, and I didn't notice until I got in the shower and I like bled out and smacked my head in like a shower alcove and shit like that.
Whoa. Can I stop you there? How do you do that? Is that can happen?
Yeah. If you grow too fast from taking steroids, your skin will come apart. Like you're growing at a super physiological rate. Your skin can't keep up depending on your cycle. Like bad shit can happen. Yeah.
So you were fucking jacked.
Yeah. I was 276 pounds, single digit body fat. I'm 5'9". So I mean,
damn, dude.
Yeah, it was up there.
And that started the blood vessel. That started your fascination with blood vessels.
Well, yeah, because what basically happened after that is I had to go to the doctors because I ended up getting an infection in that particular skin tear. It was in my groin. And my doctor just looked at me and was like, you can't keep doing bodybuilding. Your skin tears are getting too out of control. You keep this up, you're going to end up with like a deep muscle infection. You could be, it could kill you. And tried to stay in it, and it was just, it's kind of like for whom the bell tolls kind of thing. I knew it was done.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the body. I love the human body. I loved everything about it. And I was like, I don't want this passion for bodybuilding to die just because I can't pursue it the way I want. Like, what's a way I can pursue the same thing with bodybuilding, but in a direction that nobody else is thinking about? And well, also I heard about smooth muscles and blood vessels and shit like that. I was like, how the fuck do I grow those? How do I grow that? Because everyone else knows how to grow, skeletal muscle. How do I grow my vascular system? And that was tail end of my teens. By the time bodybuilding was done and over for me, I was about 18, 19 years old. And if you're wondering, yes, I was like taking steroids by the time I was like 14 years old. Got it from my mentor and shit. So,
Whoa, damn, that's pretty young, dude. So you were like going through puberty on steroids?
well, I hit puberty super young. So
Okay.
puberty for me was like 11. I I was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
you're
only
right.
like
14 is kind of young.
12-year-old with like 5 o'clock shadow kind of shit. It
Damn.
was
Okay. Yeah,
awful.
you're right. 14, I guess, would be. Yeah. It's like that whole area, like 11 through 15, 14. So you hit it, and then you just kind of right afterwards smack with some roids.
Yeah, pretty much. Like my mentor had started me on anti-estrogens first, just to try to max out my potential, get me, as big as I possibly could. And then, he and I sat in his front living room one night and was like, do you really want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I really want to do this. And, I prepped my first dose, sat there right
Damn.
there, and we went out and ate at a Chinese buffet. And he was like, you've got one goal, keep up. Because like with bodybuilding, the one thing nobody ever tells you is that it's all eating. Like, you can take all the steroids in the world, but if you cannot put down enough food to actually use what you're putting in your body, that steroid, you're not going to grow as fast. So like you'll hear a lot of the big guys talk, it's all eating, but that is not a particular topic. That's a little bit later on. We're on the tail end of all that. We're talking about vascular growth. So yeah, ask me something about that. Whatever you
Okay.
want to
So
know.
no, this is what. No, I want to get the story. So the bodybuilding. It's like I can't do it. You said, all right. Obviously, I'm trying to like. You're just about gains. You're like I was going to get as big as possible. I'm not allowed to do that with like my skeletal muscles anymore. I might as well apply the same thinking to my D if I'm
Right,
following you.
right.
Which
My dick.
by the way, noble quest. This is a very noble quest. So I'm glad. And you started that around 18. I'm swear to God, dude, 99% of dudes are interested in this topic. Maybe 1% of dudes will talk about it. And I do applaud you for
Oh,
that.
I do. I can relate to that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anytime someone finds out what I do, if they're at a party, the first thing they're gonna do is they start making fun of me or ridiculing me and shit like that. And I'm
Shit.
always like in the back of my head, like, you're gonna be talking to me at the end of the night. I know it.
I mean,
Just
dude,
let
there's
it go.
yeah, it's such a weak flex to be like, I don't even care about that. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Yes, you
Right.
do. And it's like, dude, it's like you could be a billionaire and you could be like, yo, I figured this out. They'd be like, they would fully set you up with the Tony Stark laboratory. Like, dude, do your thing, please.
Right, right.
So you say,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, no shame in the game. I've been talking about this stuff forever. I'm all about it, dude. I think, and it's so I got into this because of and I do a comedy podcast. So I always try to find it. There was funny aspects of it, obviously, but I got into the movement of like dudes who are circumcised, and there used to be this company. I don't know if you ever heard of it called Manhood Canada, where they basically put like a sleeve on you where you can kind of regain your sensitivity.
Oh yeah. It's foreskin restoration, right? That's
Yes,
what you're talking
yes.
about.
So I kind of like started fucking around with that, and it kind of fits perfectly for a comedy podcast because it is funny. I was walking around with like basically like a Velcro sleeve on my dick all day, and it's delightful. It's funny to hear about. It's kind of fascinating. So yeah, so don't at all. If people want to try to hate, it's like, bro, stay in your lane. And it's like strong guys. Like there's no dude like the strongest dude. Like if you're thinking about like MMA, jujitsu, they're not walking around trying to flex. It's always a dude who's not the strongest. So if you're walking around being like, I don't even care about this dick row and talk, like you said, it's like, bro, I'll see you later. Guarantee you'll
Right.
be hitting me up in a minute. So go on. So
Yeah.
how did you start to study it? Like I would have like where would you start with this?
So that's a really good question. So I mean, I'm just going to try. What I'm going to do for you here is I'm just going to give you as much content as you're willing to get, and you can kind of like parse it, snip it, do what you want. So here we go. Obviously, same thing. I'm like, well, I mean, at that point in time, I knew enough about the body because I was like, well, I mean, the male member, and that's how I prefer to say to it because
All right,
like I hate
male
the
member.
penis. Male members. So what's male member made out of? Well, it's made out of, like fascia and smooth muscle. So I was like, well, I mean, so if I can't be like the biggest dude in the room, I'm going to be like the biggest dude in the room. It's
Heard that.
it's kind of what it goes, right?
Let's
It's
go.
like
Let's go.
right, like if I can't swing hammer, I'm slinging hammer. It's one of those. So I was like, let's do that.
Let's fucking go. What
Yeah,
else is smooth muscle in your body? What else is
that good question. Basically, all of your blood vessels, your bones start out as that, which is something I'll get into later.
whoa?
Like dude, it's a really, I I got way more than I bargained for the deeper down this road I got. Like there's certain aspects of it that even now, even years down the road, that just blows my mind. Just blows my mind. So I'll get into the start of it, and then we'll start to get in the heart of it, and I'm just gonna like,
Do your thing, man. I got plenty of time.
all right. So of course I started out on all of the usual forums like Thunder's Place, PE Gym, tried Matters of Size, some of the smaller ones, just trying to learn about exercises in general, just trying to get a beat on it. And I did that for pretty much, well, kind of the, like I said, kind of like the tail end of my teens, start of my early 20s. And on top of that, behind all of this during the bodybuilding days, I'm just doing everything I can to just learn about the body in general. So I'm just kind of adding to it, learning more about smooth muscles, learning more about the sexual organs. And what I discovered, and it's painful to say this, it's really painful to say this, like, and you'll understand why it's painful. It all just sucked. It was just all so horrible, so horribly damaging, so horribly flawed, poorly thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So like jelking.
stretching.
Sorry to cut you off. Like jelking, you're saying?
Yeah, okay, like pretty much all of it, and I can give you a breakdown of all that. But we'll start with jelking since you're bringing that up. So with jelking actually has an incredibly rich history. So what jelking was originally intended to do was it was a form of mock battle. So like whenever a guy is entering a woman, the vagina kind of closes in and it pushes the blood in the cavernosal bodies, like kind of sucks it through the arterial channels that are deep and then pushes it out the venous channel. And what'll happen a lot of times is whenever a guy's, like really in the throes of it, kind of going pound town, he has a really hard time maintaining an erection because well, I mean, they didn't really know this way back when, and I'm talking like centuries and centuries and
Mm-hmm.
centuries ago. They didn't really know that it was a case of, arterial insufficiency. So what they did is with jelking, so what we know of it today, it's from base to glands, but it got misinterpreted because this starts in like way out in like the Middle East, like the Far East and shit, all right? It was supposed to be from glands to base. It was supposed to be like a mock battle. It was supposed to mimic penetration. That's what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to prepare
Oh.
you for that.
And people are milking themselves like an udder, basically, going the reverse
Pretty much.
way.
Yeah, it just got misinterpreted. Now, at the time, whenever I discovered jelking, I did not know any of this shit. So of course I'm doing it from base to glands, and what's of course happening is I'm getting varicose veins. I'm blowing out my veins.
Damn.
That's what jelking, the jelking that we know of today, it causes varicose veins. It destroys the vascular pathways that basically help support and help the male member work.
Hmm.
It's yeah, and so tried gelking, got a lot of varicose veins from it, got worsening potency, did not get any size from it. Then I was like, okay, so gelking's not that great. Gave that a try. So let's try stretching. Let's see how that goes. Did stretching for a long time, and I ended up with what I've basically referred to as you can almost call it like cap separation. So you've got the corporate cavernosal bodies, which are deep, and then over top those you've got the tunica albuginea, and then over top that you've got a layer of veins, and then over top of that you've got the buck's fascia, and then you've got a couple other structures that exist then underneath the Cole's fascia. So basically, whenever you do a pulling exercise, all right, like most pulling exercises, you're taking your hand, you're forming a circle, you're wrapping it around your glands, and then you're pulling up. That's what most stretch exercises, stretch devices. They're either a suction cup or there's some sort of a compression band that goes right underneath the glands and it's pulling on that. Well, what that will cause is it it affects the more superficial structures, but it doesn't really affect the deeper structures like the actual cavernous bodies. So what'll happen is that Buck's fascia that exists over top that venous layer, which is over top the tunica albuginea, it'll stretch out.
Mhm.
And so you start to get this bizarre wiggle at the top of your member to where your glands will actually kind of be slopping about on the top of your
What?
yes, yes. A lot of guys don't know this, but until I actually take the time to explain this to a lot of guys, or like I have no idea what this is, they just think like, oh, my glands are supposed to slip to the left and the right so incredibly easily. But no, that's not the case. What's basically happened is has have they elongated the tissue? Technically, yes, they've elongated the Buck's fascia, but when they do that, you end up with a hemodynamically, or rather a hydraulically compromised member. So if you have separation between the bucks and then that underlying venous layer and the tunica albuginea, you actually have a very difficult time keeping an erection. So what you'll see a lot, and this is something that'll tie into something I'm sure you've seen, compression bands, like cock rings, like guys will have to wear cock rings, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
they have to wear a cock ring because their member is hydraulically compromised. It doesn't work right anymore. So they have to wear cock rings in order to actually get hard because there's that layer separation.
And is that the only way that can happen from the stretching, or can that just be normal wear and tear?
To some extent, that's a really good question. That's a great question. It can actually happen with normal wear and tear. That's something that I see with guys that have erectile dysfunction, which is kind of where my work ties in later. So from doing jelking, from doing stretching, and so from the jelking and the stretching, and then I also did pumping, which is again the same set of problems. It tends to work the tissue superficially, but not really deep. Although there are some ways around that, which is actually something I have up on my Reddit, but I'll explain that later. So I tried, let's see, jelking, stretching, pumping, extending. Tried injections. By the way, needles near your dick, that's really scary.
Was
Like,
that
don't do it.
Botox? Was that like Botox injections?
Not Botox. I was doing Trimix. I was getting Trimix from this place called All Day Chemists, which is basically like this
Oh,
fly-by-night drug company out in the
dude,
middle of the sea.
just let me stop you. Your ability to take these experiments to the next level is for real commendable. Like I tried jelking many moons ago and I just got scared. I was like, bro, I'm not, it would like freaked me out. But like the fact that you went all the way on all these things is admirable. So again, it honestly is one of the most noble quests. So no
Well,
needles, that doesn't work.
yeah, well, okay, so like, so the injections actually work really well.
No.
They were nice. The injections were nice. But at the same time, oh my God, you think you've ever been hard in your life? Oh, dude, give it up. The
Really?
injections are nice, but they're there's a real risk of infection. There's a real risk of scar tissue. There's a real risk of fucking up the dose and having, a medically induced priapism that could not go down. Like, dude, you got to look up videos of how they drain a priapism. Like they take this large gauge needle, right? And they shove it through your glands, and then they penetrate the cavernosal bodies, and then they suck the blood out. Sometimes they don't even do that. Sometimes they just take a scalpel and just run it through there and just squirt
Oh,
it out like a pimple.
oh my God. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. It's you do not want to
Oh,
pry. And that was what scared me. I was like, this is like, I mean, it's okay right now, but when's the day going to come that it's not going to be okay? And someone's going to take a scalpel and be like, Bob's your uncle, Like I
oh,
didn't, yeah, I didn't want that.
oh my God. I didn't know that.
Right.
And this, so what's the difference between this stuff and whatchamacallit, Botox?
Okay. So what Botox will do, Botox will it'll basically cause your muscles to be unable to contract.
Mhm.
They won't work properly, which will effectively it will cause an erection because it interferes with your muscles' ability to contract.
I see. I see. I see.
Yeah. So I mean, like, like rich white women, they're like, oh, I've got wrinkles in my face. Let me just shove a needle here, and their muscles, they can't
Mm,
work anymore. There's no wrinkles,
yeah.
same principle. Um, so yeah, did the injections. I never went so far as to inject like silicone into there. Like I've so doing this job, you see some things that are just like way out there. I mean, like way, 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 way so far left field. You'd like, let me put it
Silicone's
like
intense. Silicone's intense. It's like a breast implant, basically.
it pretty much. Okay, so like what these guys will do is they'll inject silicone into the corporeal bodies. And I saw a picture of this one dude. It looked like he didn't even have it didn't even look like a tube anymore. It just looked like a basketball. He just had a
Whoa.
basketball. He'd injected so much silicone. He couldn't even pee properly. He had to shove a sounding rod down his urethra in order to pee because there was so much pressure on his urethra from all the silicone. He just couldn't do it.
Oh my
It like
God.
it was fetish taken just a whole next level, or like other crazy stuff is penile bifurcation. You ever heard about that?
You split
It's
it,
where a
right?
guy, yeah, it's where a guy literally sits there and takes a razor blade over several months and just splits the chambers apart. Like it
Why,
looks like
dude?
some sort of like death flower.
Why? Does
Like,
is it fold out or something? Like, what does it do?
yeah, it like folds out, like looks like it almost looks like something from like Alien versus Predator. It's
Oh,
gross.
no
It's so
thanks.
gross.
No thanks.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of those like I'm glad I know about this, but that's like brain cancer, and that keeps me up at night. Did I really need to know this?
Oh,
Um, yeah, so weird stuff. But anyway, so after I do these injections, I'm like, okay, I can't really keep doing this. So what are some other things that I can try? What are some other things that I can do? Again, all day chemists. I start ordering in Viagra and Cialis because they were selling it like super cheap. It was like $1.50 for the blues and like three for the reds. I was like, shut up and take my money,
yeah.
because you walk up to the pharmacy and they're like $20 a tab. I was like,
Crazy.
no,
Yeah.
right. So I get Viagra and Cialis, and I start experimenting with those, and they're working out pretty damn well. I mean, not quite as well as the injections, but they're doing great. Uh, and then and then it all kind of started falling apart one night. So what a lot of guys do not know about Viagra and Cialis, which personally it scares me a lot because you've got services like Hims, and I'm not singling out Hims or any of those like kind of email prescription basis, because I think there's a genuine need for like reasonable medication costs for easy access to certain types of drugs. I'm for that. Uh, Basically, with Viagra specifically, not Cialis. Cialis is okay, but Viagra specifically, it can cause a form of it can NaOIN. Uh, I can't remember what that stands for, but basically, you end up with a form of nerve damage in your eyes.
What?
So what PDE5 inhibitors, the Viagra specifically, what it'll cause is it will cause the pressure inside of your eyes to go down. And your eyes actually need a certain level of pressure inside of them in order to oxygenate those cells, to oxygenate your nerve cells. So whenever you're taking Viagra, one of the common side effects guys talk about is blue vision. You ever heard of blue vision?
No.
You basically end up with blue after images. Now, at the beginning, those blue after images, they're not so bad. You barely notice them, but that's why they're so insidious. That blue showing up is actually your body trying to tell you that your nerves aren't getting enough oxygen, that the nerves in your eyes are actually dying.
Dude, so you for real, like, you literally, it starts to look like Avatar. Everything starts looking blue.
Yeah, like anytime you like look away from like, well, okay, so you make a good point though. So basically, like, say you're looking at something and then you look away, you end up with this like super rich, ultra dark blue after image that makes it almost impossible
Oh,
to see what
oh,
the fuck
I
you're
see. I
doing.
see what you're saying. No, I know what you mean. So you look at a thing, you look away, and there's still like almost like caught in frame in your eyes, the thing you were just looked at, but just like blue.
Yeah, a very dark blue.
That's
And it
crazy.
just got and it just proceeded to get worse and worse to the point to where to this day I'm still night blind. I have a very hard time seeing at night because of it.
Damn.
And I found out after I stopped it and I flushed all the drugs that it was they first started noticing it over in the United Kingdom. I do a lot of business in the United Kingdom for whatever reason. I think maybe it's something in their water. I think they need to have better water treatments. Me and a couple of guys actually traced a chemical leakage from one of the factories because I had a bunch of customers along this one river, and I was like, "This is fucking weird. Why is it all along this one river?"
What in the UK?
Yeah, yeah. It was in the United Kingdom. It was basically a factory that was not handling their toxic waste properly, and they were dumping it into the river and was ending up in the water supply, and it was causing some pretty bad vascular side effects. That
Damn.
this was like a year and a half into starting the forum that I started kind of tracking this shit. I was like, this is kind of fucking weird. What the hell's going on here? And me and me and some guys in that particular area of the country started tracking this shit, and we nailed it down to that. Um,
That's crazy.
yeah, like I said, I mean, I talk to guys like I talk to guys all over the world. The craziest conversation I ever had was on the plains of Mongolia, and this dude was like jumping up and down in his jeep trying to keep signal on his sat nav. Like, she's like, hold on, wait a minute, sticking his phone higher up in the air. Like I've had some cool conversations because of this work. I've met so many cool, kind of like you. I've met so many cool people. So
Yeah, yeah. That's all. And it is one of those things. It's the same thing. When people find out what you do, they go, wait, what? And it's like a charged subject. People either say, oh, you think you're funny or whatever. For you, it's like, oh yeah, I don't need that. It's like, all right, bro, bust it out right now.
right,
Put
right,
it on the
yeah,
table, Holmes.
you
Let's
know,
go. So you tried all the different types, all the different things. So where did that
yeah.
ultimately take you? What did it all culminate in?
It all culminated in severe erectile dysfunction. Severe erectile dysfunction. I was I couldn't keep it up. Period. End of story. Like I would have at that particular time in my life. I wished I was a two pump chump. I couldn't even keep it hard enough to be a two pump chump. It was
Yeah. And how old
it
were
was
you
just
then?
I was like mid 20s.
Damn. All
So I
right.
mean I'm a decently young guy. I shouldn't be having these problems. And I was like one night one night I was just kind of sitting at my computer and I was like, you know what? I don't even want to try to get big anymore. I don't want to try to pursue this anymore. I just want to return to what I used to be. I just want to be able to get it up enough to be, with a girl so I can be that two pump chump. Like, I don't know how much I can cuss on. Can I cuss on YouTube? Is
Yeah,
that
you can say
cool?
whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, fuck all with this size shit. I just want to be able to actually have sex again.
Yeah.
So that's how I started looking into this. I was like, instead of trying to grow the male member, let's just try to figure out how I can get it back to functional. So I started studying blood vessels very, very intensely. And I mean, I've been studying them intensely for quite a long period of time, but it was the switch in my head from trying to make myself bigger to just making myself functional that seemed to open up all the right doors.
So
And
you
it
took
was
like a
around
holistic, sorry to cut, you took like a holistic approach rather than like, you know, just like I'm gonna grow this at the expense of everything. You took like a holistic. That's what it
I
sounds
took
like.
Yeah, I took a holistic approach, and one of the first things I'd come across on this lovely, lovely, lovely website called Library Genesis. It's like the Library of Alexandria of the internet. Like any book you could possibly think of, it's probably on there. Like hundreds of millions of texts, but
Damn,
you got to have a VPN to get to it. But
gotcha.
I'd come across this book while I was searching on Library Genesis. It had been outdated and out of print for a long ass time. It was in German. It's called Wandergries something or other. I can't remember. But basically, it was about the guy who had discovered the Bayliss effect, and uh, William Maddock Bayliss, I think is his full name, and he was like Sir William because I think he got knighted or something like that. Anyway, read his book on the Bayliss effect, and it basically talked about how smooth muscles are involuntary. So like so whenever a smooth muscle is suddenly distended, it has these channels on the outside of its cell that will open and close based on distension. So say you've got a cell and it goes like this, it suddenly stretches, smooth muscle, and it suddenly stretches. You've got these ion gates on the outside of the cell that will open up and will selectively filter in like things like magnesium and calcium. And whenever that calcium comes into contact with these receptors inside of it, it's like this giant electrical storm inside the cell. You actually, when you look at it under a microscope and something else, I can't remember the name of it, you see like this aura around the cell. It's like static electricity from like a blanket or some shit around the cell, and that's the calcium ions like getting sucked in and then
What?
creating static. Oh yeah, it's trippy as hell. And nitric oxide is involved in the process. Like you need nitric oxide to make it work. They're like I've mentioned on YouTube, smooth muscles are like little living engines. They're like little living engines. They're one of the things that keep you alive. They're just little autonomous engines that can stack and work together like Legos or something. They're
Dude,
amazing.
it's crazy. I actually was thinking about it this morning in the shower. I'm like, the fact that I have who knows how many cells in my body all working harmoniously blows my mind on a pretty daily basis. It's like, dude, how are these things all working together? It's crazy. So you're
It,
saying
and,
it's that's nuts. So the various little, like you're saying, chambers or like component that are they like the building blocks of the smooth muscle? These little kind of like you're saying, these little engines that kind of whoosh, expand based on like some sort of electrical signal, fill in with the appropriate, their calcium, magnesium, blah blah blah, nitric
uh,
oxide. I remember NO Explode. I took it a couple times working out.
okay, yeah. Smooth muscles are basically the building blocks of the vascular system. They're well, I'd call smooth muscles more like the structural support of the vascular system. But
Okay.
we'll tie that in. We'll tie that in later. So got done pretty much well digging through that book using Google Translate, which by the way is horrible because you could only do like a page, like you could only do like three quarters of a page, and this is like a several hundred page book. I basically just I pretty much will Google translated which chapters I actually wanted to read, and then I would sit there and like slowly, begrudgingly work my way through this book. And it's not translating all that great. Like Google translates great, but some languages it's a little iffy.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially what I like to call like the dark triangle, which is like Cyrillic languages, not so great. But so I dug through that book and I was like, okay, I've got a much better idea of what's going on here. Let's go on to Google Scholar and see what other stuff we can find. And that's when I started learning more about smooth muscles and endothelial cells and how those two relate. And then I would go back to Library Genesis to try and find some other manuals on that particular topic. And then I pretty much took that as far as I could. And I was like, I need to get a hold of much more up to date stuff. And basically, with the money I was making from, doing odd jobs and stuff like personal training, did that for a while. I was pretty much throwing it at like research hubs like Elsevier and GitHub and Elsevier is the only one that's really coming to mind right now that expensive. But I was
Yeah,
pretty much
those things are super expensive. Usually schools like subsidize those because they're just
yeah.
they're a
I
lot of money.
actually What? No bullshit. I actually went to college just so I could get a hold of the research manual. I got a
Nice.
degree in sociology, but I mean, I went to college just so I could access to the free shit. I was like,
It's an
bring
awesome
it.
move.
Let's
It's a great
go.
idea. It's probably cheaper, honestly.
It was genuinely cheaper because like a 24 to 48 hour window, a 24 to 48 hour window of renting, that could set you back like two, $300, man.
It's
So like
crazy.
if you, yeah, so if you're like digging into like, a pretty complicated topic and like the new up to date stuff, your your piggy bank might start out, fat and fluffy. It ain't gonna stay that way. It's gonna look like sad and deflated, and it's just not good. Not
That's a
good.
beast. That's an absolutely beast move.
Yeah, so I went to college. I had gone pre-med initially, but some family complications had gotten in the way, and that I had to drop out of the pre-med program I was at another college, and I had ended up having to roll all of that into a sociology degree, which at the time I was just like so upset about. But I kept with the self-study, abused the research hubs that they had access to and stuff, and kept the ball rolling. And that was when I started learning about a phrase that I'd never really heard before. I'd never heard before this particular time in my life. That switch I was talking about from going from trying to get myself bigger to going to how you mentioned the holistic approach, and that was the term arteriogenesis. And that's where it all started. Like everything was kind of like a steady climb in terms of my knowledge, but the moment I learned about arteriogenesis, it was just like it's like
Man.
a rocket. It was just a rocket. So with arteriogenesis, it is it got its start in like the 1940s, 1950s. And before that, they had like really tenuous amounts of knowledge, like kind of scant knowledge about it with like deer antlers. So what some of these like burgeoning researchers and scientists would do is they would they pretty much will butcher the heads of these deer that were still alive. They'd like sit in there and go inside their skull and stuff and like cut off like certain blood vessels and stuff to see if it would affect how their antlers would grow. Yeah.
Jesus.
And they'd find like one antler would grow a little bit more than the other, and they're like, oh, okay, so like cutting this blood vessel actually causes something, and then they'd come back to that deer, a year later, whenever the antlers had fallen off or something like that, and look at it again. It's like, oh, hey, those blood vessels have grown back, or it's like these antlers are growing at the same rate again. And that was like 1800s, so it really got its start, 1940s, 1950s, and then by the 1960s, they were gaining a lot of traction. Uh, they were looking for alternative means of therapy for people that were having heart disease.
Mhm.
How they could get these working class people back up to snuff, back up to speed, without having to send them to these expensive clinics or having to prescribe them medication, which back then had all kinds of egregious side effects. They needed something better, so they had pretty much just started putting people on treadmills, like getting working, doing aerobic exercise and stuff like that. And what they were discovering was that aerobic exercise was effectively causing blood vessels to grow. And by this point in time, they really didn't know about it. They had some ideas about it, but they didn't really know it. 1940s, 1950s, this is a totally new concept that aerobic exercise could cause blood vessels to grow. And there was there was a schism. There was this great schism that happened in the medical industry around this time, around this particular topic. Some researchers were saying, it's hypoxia. It's the lack of oxygen to tissues that are causing these blood vessels to grow. And then it was a much smaller voice, a much smaller grouping of researchers that was like, well, hold on. What if it's not hypoxia? What if it's actually blood flow itself that's causing blood vessels to grow? What if it's the change in the rate of blood flow? And their hypothesis was that it wasn't hypoxia, it was actually the friction of blood against the vascular walls that was causing this.
Oh, Jesus. All right. But that's new.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't making like new capillaries and all that stuff. It was just expanding arteries.
Well, it was doing both. So it was making the existing vascular system larger, and it was making the walls thicker, but it was also causing capillary beds to form, new capillary beds.
That's
It was
crazy.
causing tissue growth. It was causing actual tissue growth, and they were so divided on what was causing that. Well, you know, fast forward, it's modern times. It's like 2000, 2010 plus, several decades later,
Hmm.
I'm coming into the scene learning about this, and I get to see this historical, process play out. Even now, going on to like, research hubs, you're going to see more stuff about hypoxia causing vascular growth than you will shear stress, which is what that was, that blood friction, that the speed, the rate of blood flow through a channel causes irritation. It causes friction against that vascular wall. That's what's known as shear stress.
And that's
And
hypoxia. That's hypoxia, you're saying?
so the friction of blood flow against the vascular wall, that's called shear stress.
Okay.
And whenever you're like exercising super duper hard and you like run out of steam, it's like no matter how much you want to go, it's like you can't lift that weight again. You can't run and walk another step. You're like just dead tired. That would be an example of hypoxia.
Gotcha.
And blood vessels can grow from hypoxia, which is kind of how that schism happened, because
Right.
they already had research on the topic that hypoxia could cause vascular growth. The problem is that it's a panic reaction. It's more of a panic reaction than it is a go-to for vascular growth. Whenever uh, whenever oxygen content in a particular area of the body starts to drop, uh, the half-lives of certain growth factors goes up because they're reacting to oxygen, which makes their half-life go down. When you have a low oxygen environment, the half-lives of these growth factors extends quite a bit. Like a great example would be like VEGF. If you're exposing VEGF to oxygen, an oxygen-rich environment, healthy tissues, it's got a half-life of like 2 to 3 hours. But in a low oxygen environment, it's like 8+ hours. So they were not wrong in their assumptions. They were not The research they were doing around that time wasn't wrong, but it just wasn't the body's main go-to
Makes
for
sense.
causing vascular growth.
It wasn't the
Yeah.
best way too. Like functionally, it's like, well, yeah, if you're like redlining your body for arterial or to grow your arteries and stuff, it's probably not the best move.
Right. It's not the best move. It's not the body's main go-to. Sheer stress was, but so anyway, with arteriogenesis, this idea of blood friction causing vascular growth, what is involved in that, and I'll go ahead and break down arteriogenesis as much as I can, and then we're going to use that as a stepping stone for kind of what I'm doing now today. So, whenever you have someone engaging in aerobic exercise, you've got blood that is moving through the vascular channels faster than normal. Now, the first reaction to your body to this blood friction, to the shear stress, is an increase in nitric oxide from your endothelial cells. Your endothelial cells have these little hairs. It's almost like grass. Like, you ever seen like a wide open field and you saw a breeze roll through and you watch the grass like blow and wave?
Mm-hmm.
The endothelial cells have the exact same thing. The endothelial cells line your blood vessels, and off of those endothelial cells it's like grass almost. It's these little hairy protrusions. And whenever they get tilted so much by blood flow going through a channel at a certain rate, it causes an activation of these internal mechanisms inside the endothelial cells that causes them to release nitric oxide, and the vascular channel widens. And a lot of guys know this is like, getting the vasopump, getting the muscle pump, it's like raw, it's like, check out my pump right now, that most guys know it is that. The other is, say with aerobic exercise, I'm sure you've done some treadmill work and you're looking down and your veins are really sticking out. You're like, man, I feel like I got like a roadmap going on. This feels great.
Yeah, yeah.
That right. So that would be an example of nitric oxide release. But now say you up the rate of blood flow even more, past a point to where the nitric oxide release isn't enough to really pull back the shear stress on that arterial wall. And we're going to start in arteries first here. So let's say the blood passing through that arterial channel, you've already released nitric oxide, you've already widened it, but the level of shear stress on those endothelial cells, it's still too great. What does the body do then? The endothelial cells then begin to release a growth factor called vascular endothelial growth factor, specifically vascular endothelial growth factor subtype BB. Whenever VEGF gets released, it releases from the endothelial cells and it kind of becomes like this cloud in the vascular channel, and it causes an increase in dilation, both ascending and descending. It causes like this domino ripple effect. And you get that from basically prolonged aerobic exercise. Like you get the nitric oxide release, say in a general workout, within the first 5 to 10 minutes. But say you continue that aerobic exercise for another 30 to 45 minutes, and you cap out in like a 45-minute session. Within the first 5 to 10 minutes, nitric oxide's already done its work. Now your body's beginning to release VEGF to cause not just a greater level of vasodilation, but to also begin to supercompensate, just like in bodybuilding. You know how, like, if you max out your muscles and you're kind of like breaking them down a little bit, your body's basically setting the stage for super compensation for your blood vessels to grow. So that way, if it ever comes across that level of shear stress again, the blood vessels are wider, they're thicker, they can work so much better. So that way you can engage in that level of aerobic exercise again. Think about it, think about how humanity would have made it this far if we couldn't, outrun the things that were trying to eat us, like lions and tigers and shit like that. Imagine if, like, those little
Yeah.
wubaloos way back in the jungle is like, oh, I can only run so fast, I can't get away. You're fucked. You're just dead. So your
Yeah.
your body has to have some way to super compensate, some way to adapt to that kind of a stimulus, that kind of a potentially life threatening situation. So it releases VEGF subtype BB, and it's in its name, vascular endothelial growth factor. What it will cause is it will cause your endothelial cells to begin to proliferate, to increase in number. And what they'll start to do is, as they start increasing in number, they start to burrow out into the vascular walls. They start to form these little transient microchannels.
Damn.
Really trippy stuff. Yeah, it's like these little fingers that'll kind of grow out into the extracellular matrix. It's almost like if you looked at your blood vessel. So blood vessels themselves are kind of like a mesh. They're not really a uniform tube, they're more like a mesh. And the endothelial cells will grow through these mesh to form like little hairs that stick out in the extracellular matrix. And they'll begin releasing that VEGF further into those little microchannels. Uh, and that process, say, okay, so tying in bodybuilding,
Sure.
tying in experience, right? Bringing it to the forefront here. So most people are going to recommend, you're exercising, like say you go to the gym, you do a workout. You're going to take like anywhere between 1 to 2 days rest before you work those muscles again. Well, it's kind of like aerobic exercise a little bit, but that's something you have to do all the time. So let's say you run super hard in that treadmill, you kind of push yourself pretty good for those 30 to 45 minutes. Well, I mean, what do you got to do? You got to walk out to your car, you got to walk at work, you got to, walk here, walk there, you got to walk around the store to go get groceries. You keep your blood flow up, but you lower the level that you're doing it at. You're not trying to like, punch at the ceiling. You're just trying to maintain, a steady rate here. So you've got your intense workout and then you've got steady state throughout the day. When you combine those two, you're basically helping to maintain those transient channels. That's why I call them transient.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Right. So these endothelial cells will sell out these little hairy fingers into the ECM, the extracellular matrix, during these intense bouts of exercise, and then your steady state aerobic exercise throughout the day, basically, doing your job, you know, walking through the store, stuff like that. And
Well, so
then,
just to stop, this is what I don't know if you ever been to Orange Theory. This is their whole thing. It's like you work out, your heart rate's on a board with all the other people, and that you get splat points every time you're in, I think 85% of your cardiac output. If you're in that zone from 85 to 100, 85 is like orange. If you get to 90, it becomes red. But if you do that for 13 minutes of the hour long workout, they say they just call it like an afterburn effect where like you burn hundreds of more calories just because you hit that sustained output for 30. And it sounds like what you're talking about. You get your body to like a red line state. Then through your like more steady state activities throughout the day, your body's like you were saying, just trying to maintain all these little connections you made. Pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, your metabolic rate goes up because your body, after that intense workout, it's trying to super compensate. It's trying to adapt to what you've done to it. So of course your metabolic rate is going to go up. And all of this is going to tie in together really, really beautifully. So after you've made these little hairs, these little feelers, that's not the end of the process. There's an additional step where shit just gets absolutely crazy. So once you've got these feelers in place, you go to do your next workout after you've done your steady state, just doing, just living your life. When you go to do the subsequent exercise, a day, 2 days later, and you re-expose your vascular channels and these little feelers to additional shear stress, they start releasing a different growth factor. They release what's known as platelet-derived growth factor, PDGF. Now, PDGF is pivotal because it is not a growth factor for endothelial cells. It's a growth factor for smooth muscle cells.
Whoa.
And what it will do is it will release PDGF out into these little feelers. And smooth muscles, they're like little living engines, but in this particular case, they're also kind of like bloodhounds sniffing out a blood trail. They're like, I smell growth factor. I smell the thing that's going to make me bigger. I smell my next meal. And so these smooth muscles will start kind of wiggling around, and they'll start breaking down their structural support. So remember how I was saying that smooth muscles are kind of like the structure of a blood vessel? So
Mm.
what smooth muscles will do is once they've kind of gotten themselves cemented into a structure, once they've got themselves in place, they'll begin releasing collagen. They'll start making these collagenous sheaths around themselves to hold them in place, but also to give the structure that they're in more integrity. Well, whenever they start to sense this PDGF, they start to break down that collagen themselves, and then they begin to migrate. They begin to migrate from the outer walls of a vascular system towards the channel, towards the internal channel.
Damn. So that's like more of those deeper structures you're talking about that these other techniques don't really affect.
Well, like I said, we're getting into that. We'll get into
Okay.
that. So you
So
get
what
these
were you
smooth
talking about?
muscles, huh?
So what did you mean by where are they migrating towards?
Okay, so say you've got a tube, right? Endothelial cells are existing inside the tube,
Right.
and then smooth muscles are existing in the wall of the tube. So what the smooth muscles will do is they'll start migrating from the walls of that tube more towards the inside, and
Gotcha.
they'll get like right up under these smooth muscles that have migrated. They'll get like right next to those endothelial cells, and these endothelial cells that are in the main bulk of the channel, they're just pushing out PDGF in just like waves, just big clouds. And these smooth muscles are just bathing in this growth factor, and they're proliferating, they're increasing in number, they're growing because they're being bathed in these growth factors by endothelial cells. And something that we know from studying like the cardiovascular system, like people that say that have heart disease, they have this thing called what's that called? Can't internal inward remodeling. So in arteriogenesis, you have outward remodeling. In heart disease, you have inward remodeling. What basically happens is, in the case of heart diseases, you have these smooth muscles migrating inward, and it's causing the channel to temporarily narrow. It's forming what's known as a neointimal layer of smooth muscles just underneath this layer of endothelial cells. because the process of arteriogenesis gets halted because you don't have someone that's engaging in steady state. They're living a sedentary life. They're not engaging regularly enough in aerobic exercise, so they get inward remodeling because the arteriogenic process is being halted. But let's say it's not halted. Let's say you've got somebody that's actually engaging in steady state. You've got somebody engaging in regular aerobic exercise. Once these smooth muscles start to proliferate, they start to form that neointimal layer. Yes, the channel will temporarily narrow, but that's when the true magic starts to happen when you have somebody who has a healthy lifestyle. Those channels, remember those feelers I was telling you about, those hairs that poke into the ECM? What they start to do is the endothelial cells on the internal part of the channel, they'll begin to ramp down how much PDGF they produce. And then the little feelers out here will ramp up how much PDGF they're producing to cause these increased amount of smooth muscles to migrate back out into the walls. And then you end up with a channel that begins to widen, but the walls are also thicker. And because you've also maintained those feelers, you have increased capillary bed density as well. You have actual factual structural growth here. You have verifiable growth. You have growth you can actually see. When you like look down a microscope, you can see this channel's bigger. You can see the capillary bed density has gone up. So I was like, coming from the guy who has erectile dysfunction, I was like, holy fucking shit, how can I apply this? Like, holy shit, how can I take advantage of this arteriogenesis? And I hit a wall. I hit a big ass wall because there's not many books written about the vascular system of the male member. There's just not.
Why?
So I had to do there's a lot on like the cosmetic end of things, like, say like soldiers that have had like an IED and they have to put like their junk back together.
Right.
There's a lot of surgery manuals, but there's not too many vascular models. But I did eventually find some of the knowledge I needed studying surgical manuals, and then even more kind of studying the philosophy of sex itself.
The best way to learn a language, immersion. Living where the language is spoken and using it every day. But if that's not in the cards this year, you can still learn a language the second best way, and that's with Babbel. Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are handcrafted by over 200 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's designed by real people for real conversations. I honestly might start doing this with Maya. My daughter, for some reason, burns with the passion to learn Spanish. She wants to know everything I say. She's like, well, how do you say that in Spanish? I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know. But I might actually start doing Babbel with my daughter and see. I'll let her do Spanish and see if it works. I think it actually does work. I've studies from Yale, Michigan State University, and others continue to prove Babbel is better. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full semester at college. Babbel has over 16 million subscriptions sold, plus all of Babbel's 14 award-winning language courses are backed by their 20-day money-back guarantee. There you go. Here's a special limited-time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscriptions, but only for our listeners at Babbel.com/drenched. Get up to 60% off Babbel.com/drenched, spelled Babbel. I don't know, I got all fucking sassy with that. Babbel.com/drenched. Rules and restrictions may apply. I did that Boosie, INDEP. Our next sponsor needs no introduction. You've seen the ads, you've heard us talk about it a million times, and I bet there's a big part of you, pun intended, that wants to try it. What am I talking about? Blue Chew. That's right. This isn't your grandpa's blue pill. This is the one. The OG chewable tablet for sex. For better sex, I should say, because you're harder. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. I've heard it works really well. Again, for the time being, I still get hard as fucking hell, but I'm sure these things are everyone I've ever talked to about these says they do steal you up. Obviously, use them responsibly. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part? It's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead and be ready whenever an opportunity arises. Blue Chew wants you to have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Blue Chew wants the entire country rock hard. They told me that's the mission. They will not stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house, till every tent is pitched, till every road is raised, till every rod is raised. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. That's pretty noble. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code DRENCHED at checkout. Okay. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code DRENCHED to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. In a world of slot reels and blackjack deals comes the must-play event of the summer from DraftKings Casino, featuring nonstop action and an all-star cast of games, including A-lister Loki's Luck. This summer blockbuster is the one you won't want to miss. Plus, new players can get $100 instantly in casino credits with just $1 wager, and all players get a blockbuster bonus every week. So sign up with the code SECRET and grab your popcorn. It's showtime on DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800. We're glad you're here. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. Eligibility and other restrictions apply. New customers only. $1 wager to earn $100 in non-withdrawable casino credits that expire in 168 hours. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/blockbuster. Hey guys, I have to give you this quick update about my stand-up comedy shows. I'll be in San Jose, I'll be at the San Jose Improv on August 1st through August 3rd. Stand-up live, Phoenix, Arizona, Portland, Oregon, Helium Comedy Club. Philadelphia just added a couple new shows at Helium. Also, the big ones are Capital One, Tyson's Hall. Let's not make a big fool of myself there. It's a big theater. And Town Hall, New York for the New York Comedy Festival. Please get all your tickets at mattmccusker.com/dates. There's other cities up there too. Boston, Wilbur, blah, blah, blah. Cleveland, Providence, all that stuff. Milwaukee, that's all of them actually. So come on out. Bye.
I kind of became a philosopher of sex.
I'd like for you to elaborate on that. Also, is this still while you're in school for sociology?
Yeah, I'm doing all this.
That's so wild, dude. And you said, did you just keep all this stuff to yourself, or were you talking to people about this stuff, or how did you?
I'd try to talk to guys about it, but it's kind of like you were saying, you're like, oh, I don't have that problem, it's like, I'll see you later, it was one of those.
Yeah, for sure.
And, I kind of got encouraged by that along the ways, up close in person, like in the big groups, the guys would push back at me, but it would always be at the tail end of the night, say I was at a party, I'd end up chilling with the boys and they'd just ask me about it, tell me more about this, everyone kind of like relax down, they're like, man, I got to hear more about this, and and that encouraged me along the way. And, I took advantage of course, things that we have available to us, which is, the synonymous Pornhub. As any guy, I'll tell you, you're gonna spend so many hours of your life on Pornhub. It's just gonna happen.
For sure.
But instead of me being the guy, holding my junk in my hand, doing one of these, I'm sitting there with like a pad and paper, watching, okay, so what's this going? What's this doing? And I started watching videos specifically of I tried to get to the heart of the philosophy of sex in the male member by studying instances where procreation was most likely to happen, how adaptations could be passed on over time, how a structure could form over the centuries, the millennia, based on who is actually getting a chance to procreate. And so I started studying females. Females are basically the ones that are helping guys, propagate themselves, making the next generation of males. So I started studying female sexuality, how females move during a sexual encounter when they are pursuing orgasm. And so I just started watching videos, of like, cowgirl, girl on top type motion, type videos. And yeah, not, I'm not sitting there with my dick in my hands. I'm sitting there with a notepad and paper in my hands, like, okay, so like what's going on here? And
This
what
is
I
the most
noticed.
impressive part of this, by the way. The fact that you're able to do that.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. I mean, oh, don't get me wrong. I mean, it was like so tempted to just sit there and beat one out really fast. But I was like, no, 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 I gotta stay on
I
top of
mean,
it.
unbelievable. And then, so you were studying, you wanted to see, and why did you study that specifically?
I wanted to study it because there was something inside of me. There was this little voice telling me that that was where the answer lied. That was where the answer to my problems lied. So I started looking at how females moved in these positions where they're the sexual aggressor when they wanted to go towards orgasm because uh, without getting too deep into the thicket here, whenever females orgasm, there's a much greater likelihood of procreation actually happening, of the semen actually making it to where it needs to go, get to the egg, baby happens. So I was like, how are these females moving? And it was like this undulation, the way that they would move whenever they were pursuing orgasm. It was the way that they would tilt their hips coming down, going up. They would tilt back whenever they were squatting down on the guy, and then they would tilt towards the guy, like towards his head, whenever they were rising up. And I was like, what the fuck is that? What are you doing? What kind of like primordial dance are you doing right now? That it's like, I know the answers there. What the fuck is that? And so I was like, I gotta dig into these research manuals more. I gotta figure out what the fuck's going on here. So I started looking at pelvic anatomy, at the blood vessels in a male's pelvis. And what I figured out was that the male member was supplied off the aortic forks that go down into your legs. So you've got the main aortic trunk, right? And then you've got these forks that go down into your legs. Well, in the pelvis, you've got these other ones that are called the iliac arteries. They're like these little offshoots. Well, actually, they're pretty large offshoots that feed, the tissue masses in your pelvic girdle. And then off of the iliacs, you've got the internal iliacs. Now, the internal iliacs, that's where the story gets interesting, because the internal iliacs are the ones that feed the male member. And it's got three branches that come off of it, three of them. And you've got an internal iliac on each fork, so they're a mirror of each other. So you've got three forks on either side of this iliac. You've got the bulbourethral artery, which feeds your corpus spongiosum. You've got the deep cavernous artery that feeds the main cavernosum, and then you've got the third one, which is the deep dorsal artery. And as you use the methodology to have come up with, you can actually see that deep dorsal artery get so fat it's like ropes on the side of your dick, man. It's just fucking cool. It's
What?
like it's like ropes, and you can actually use that to track deeper internal growth of the vascular structures. But again, we've got to get into the whole hemodynamic thing here.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
I'm
Please.
I'm, I'm going to give you as much details and stuff you want to work with. So I got looking at like what are so we've got females that are engaging in like this primordial dance whenever they're pursuing orgasm. And I know that orgasm, whenever that happens, you've got a much higher chance of procreation. So females have been causing male sexual structures to adapt to this dance over time in order to work. Because like, say that girl, that woman, she's sitting there doing her dance, doing her thing, and your dick's going soft. Make babies,
Yeah.
procreate, have kids, so
Yeah.
like the guys that have these structures in place that kind of match up with this dance, those genes are being passed on. They're being adapted. They're growing. They're improving in their efficiency. So I knew that somewhere in my genetics right now, through however many centuries or millennia of evolution, have adapted to this dance. So I was like, so the female is pulling her pelvis towards me. Like, say, you got a girl riding on top, her pelvis is pulling towards me. It's her vaginal wall is dragging on that spongiosum. Now, where's that blood going? It's getting pushed up into the glands. Now, where the fuck is it going from there? Where is it going? It's going out your deep dorsal vein that rides along the very middle of your cavernosal chambers. So you've got like the chambers are kind of oval shaped, and then in this groove between the two chambers, you've got the deep dorsal vein. So it's going through the spongiosum into the glands, and then it's exiting through the deep dorsal vein. And I was like, all right, I'm close. I know I'm close to the answer here. So I was like, how can I mimic these motions? How can I mimic this primordial dance I'm seeing women engage in? And I just tried to come up with different hand exercises, and most of them are failing until I started coming up with what I've got on my subreddit now, which are the Angion methods. The first thing I started doing is I started rubbing the deep dorsal vein. I started trying to pull blood through that vascular circuit, what I refer to as the bulbodorsal circuit. Bulbourethral arteries feeding up through the spongiosum, bulbodorsal circuit. That didn't work out so well. Stimulating just the veins, what I found out is they would collapse because of how they're designed. Once you try to pull blood through them, they'll just kind of collapse on you. It didn't work out so well. So I was like, well, what about if I tried pushing blood up into my glands and then squeezing it and then firing it down the deep dorsal vein? That worked a little bit better. But I still wasn't quite encapsulating it. And then one night I was like, why don't I just sit here and take my fingers and I'll make like this, undulating circular motion, and I'll just continually push blood up into my glands and out that dorsal vein just to stimulate this circuit I've discovered. And that was when the magic started happening. So I'd started to see a little bit of potency. So I was getting encouraged because I knew I was on the right path, but I could tell it was so inefficient. But once I had started rolling my fingers up the spongiosum to push blood up into my glands, that's when my erectile potency just started going and going and going and going
And
and
in
going.
spongiosum, sorry, let me stop you right there so everyone knows. That's the bottom part. That's like
That's the soft, squishy part that's around your urethra.
okay. But if this is coming off your body, this would be the spongiosum part, and this would be like the top that's like you're looking down at, and this is like the underbelly, basically.
Yep,
Okay.
yep,
I knew as
yep.
soon as you said spongiosum, I'm like, I know exactly what I could just tell. I knew instinctually what that was. So
All
you're
right.
saying that
So
undulating circular movement sends it up through the glands, the tip, then back down through these side veins. And then where does it go from there again?
it
This is
basically goes back into your heart. It goes
out of
back
the
into the
picture.
regular.
Oh, so it's just those three things. The
Yeah,
bottom part, glands, straight down through those side dorsal veins.
yeah. You're just stimulating a small portion of your vascular system. You're basically causing blood flow to speed up in one particular area of branches within the vascular system, and your body's just kind of absorbing that, doing its own thing. You're basically doing targeted cardio, just targeted cardio. That's really all you're doing here.
Yeah.
But say if you have somebody engaging in aerobic exercise, living their best life, you have to remember that if you're exposing your entire body to higher levels of shear stress, and it's releasing clouds of these growth factors into the vascular system itself, you can actually basically you can cause the process to just explode. You can ramp up the efficiency of these exercises so much more. You could think of the Angion methods as a polisher to a good aerobic exercising.
Gotcha.
All you're doing is you're basically taking advantage of all the growth factors that get made throughout your body, throughout your vascular system, through general aerobic exercise, and then you're targeting it. Because whenever you cause shear stress through a vascular channel, you're increasing the receptor counts in that given area. You're allowing more growth factors to attach to these receptors that have formed, and you're able to speed up the process of the vascular growth within a small portion of the vascular tree. So I started experimenting with what I call the Angion method 3.0, and my potency just went through the roof, like super physiological woodies, waking up with morning wood every single day. I'm chubbed as hell. And you were mentioning earlier on how like proper hydration, a calm state, and then you wrap it, and that would be an example of a healthy lifestyle. You're keeping your stress levels low, you're staying hydrated. That's a healthy lifestyle. The NGM methods are just an addition to that healthy lifestyle. They're a way to make that a little bit more productive for you. So I'm not just waking up with these great morning woods. I'm staying like heavily chubbed throughout the day. I looks like some fucking little like arm holding goddamn apple, man. I'm fucking chubbed. I'm feeling
Damn.
great. I'm on fire. Like
I
I'm
mean,
like,
dude,
all
how
right.
happy were you when you figured this? This must have been crazy.
Oh my God. I was past the moon happy. I wanted to shout this from the rooftops, which I tried to do or on YouTube first. I have a YouTube channel there, and then I was like, I got to get this out. I've got to let guys know that, you don't got to take an injection. You don't got to take a pill in order to get your potency back. And so I started seeing a return. I started seeing a return to the potency that I had lost from all of these, terrible PE exercises that I engaged in over time, all these different experiments that I put myself through. I was like, oh my God, thank God. I finally have my manhood back. I can finally be that two pump chump if I want to, I
I mean,
could
that's
be that two pump
amazing.
chump.
That's amazing.
Dude,
You
like,
went that deep into it. Literally, I mean, it's like you lost it, dude. And then you somehow resuscitated it back bigger, better than ever. I mean, bro, what a few could do that. That's amazing.
I one of my subscribers calls me the wounded healer. I had
Exactly.
I had to get wounded first to figure out how to heal other people.
It's the hero's journey. You got the hero's. I was literally just talking about this today. You got the hero's wound, and it literally gave you the knowledge to give to the world, which is crazy, dude. So
Yeah,
wait,
and that's
so where are you at now with this? What do you do? Do you have like a device? Like what do you do? And did you
yes.
patent this thing, by the way? Like what do you
It's kind of hard to patent it because it's considered to be just a generic peristaltic pump. But I've got that big ass thing. Got like
bro?
a mill there. Got lathes behind me over here. Like I've got basically a whole machine shop for like working plastic and stuff. So you're asking me like, what did I do with that? Um, I actually got talking about some of the stuff with a good buddy of mine, someone who knew about my journey and whatnot, and was kind of going through similar struggles. And he was like, "Why don't you look up peristaltic pumps, man? Why don't you look up how those work?" And it was like the very first time I'd ever seen like a GIF of a peristaltic pump. It was that same fucking motion. It was the same shit I was doing with my fingers, but they were using rollers instead of fingers.
Oh,
I was like, oh my God, I've got to make this thing. I've got to make this. I have to make this. But at this point in time in my life, I was a researcher. I wasn't a craftsman. I fucking sucked at this shit, man. The first angio wheel I ever made, it was like this, like, like it was just shitty as hell, man. Like the cast reels are all wonky. The pieces of wood I was using were all like bowed and fucked up and shit. But I got to use it and I got to see what it could be. Because when I started experimenting with this, rough as it was, poorly crafted as it was, I started seeing my potency go up even more and even more and even more. And I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. I wasn't in an entrepreneurial mindset. I was still in a researcher mindset. And then this guy, David, if you're watching this, I am forever going to be thankful for you. If you happen to watch this, I'm thankful for you. This economist up in Maine who had, quite a bit of money just kind of sitting around looking for something to do with it. He reached out to me through one of the forums I was a part of at the time. And he was like, I will pay you to make this for me. And I hesitated. I was like, I'm not that good of a craftsman, man. I just made this thing. I have no experience making things. Like, I don't care. I want you to make this for me. You give me a figure north of like 150, I'll pay it right on the spot, just like that. I was like, I kind of sat on it for a while. I was like, I wasn't ever planning on making money on this. I was really big into trying to give it away to the world. I was really big on trying to give this answer because I know so many guys out there struggle with erectile dysfunction. I know the side effects of the drugs. I know the dangers. I know the hazards. So I wanted to give guys an alternative, a holistic alternative. There was this part inside of me that was wrestling with trying to monetize on this. I just didn't want to do it. And he was like, just do it, make me something. So I made him the second angio wheel I'd ever made, and I mailed it to him. And like he even asked me to like sign it and autograph it and stuff like this. So I did.
Awesome.
And and life kind of happened around that particular point in time. My mom got really sick around the same time. She got really, really sick, and we were having a really hard time paying medical bills and paying for like gas bills and stuff, just getting her back and forth from the hospital. And I had no other real options. I had graduated college. I had a bachelor's degree in sociology. The job market though was saturated. I had bunches of job interviews lined up. They were all falling through. I was like, I gotta figure out some way to make money now in order to get her through this rough time in her life. And so I started an Etsy, and I told the fan base I'd already built up on YouTube and Reddit about, hey, I'm going to start selling this device. And it just took off like wildfire. The very first sale I ever ran, I made $8,300.
Awesome.
Yeah, just like right there on the spot. And I took the lion's share of that, and I used it for my mom's medical bills and to get her to and from her doctor's appointments. But what I had left over, I started investing into machinery, into a proper shop. And as the money just kept rolling in, I just kept trying to invest more and more into it. And you kind of mentioned Trump, like stuff that happened. I actually made a posting on my subreddit about that not too long ago. I got my start under the Trump administration because of his business policies, because of how strong of a hand he put on, the economy in general. Food prices went down, gas prices went down. Business was booming, especially international trade. International trade was booming. What I discovered was I had an enormous fan base in Europe, specifically United Kingdom, Germany, France, Denmark, Sweden, stuff, places like that. And so a lot of the sales I was seeing were coming from overseas. That was a big bulk of the money I'd initially made. So I just kind of doubled down, and I'd never really done anything international before. So I had to do a lot of learning with that, but I started selling more and more, and I started getting better and better at making sales. Funny fact on that one, just real quick, just a quick little
Hmm.
blurb. I do a lot of goddamn business with California. I do a lot of
Really?
business with the porn industry. Oh my God, I do a lot of business.
Ah,
I have not shaken the hand of porn stars, but I have sent more than a few devices to studios. I've done that. Like no bullshit. Like
that's crazy.
I, yeah, I've had some porn stars reach out and be like, "Bro, you my man." And I was like, "All right." Because they're doing the drugs too, they don't
Yeah.
want to sit there and inject shit in their dick so they could do that scene. They just want to like go in there like a champ, be like, all right, man, I can pump this out, I got this.
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
amazing.
so I started doing a lot of business with the porn industry out in California. That was the main thing. Like it was international sales, California. That was like the bulk of my sales,
That's
California and
crazy.
international sales. And then the rest of the states, started kind of coming in as my research, got off the ground, as people started word of mouth, talking about me and stuff. And I just gotten better and better. I started out making devices out of wood,
Mhm.
and wood's a great medium. Wood's cheap, but wood warps. Wood is prone to cracking. Wood is prone to all kinds of structural issues. So I was like, how can I do it better? And so I started doing plastic. And sorry, I
Oh,
kind of got
wow.
my baby girl's crib right there because we're kind of remodeling
Yep,
upstairs.
yep.
But can you see that big ass white thing in the corner there?
Yeah, what is that?
So that is half of a 500-pound slab of plastic.
What?
Yeah, an 8 foot by 4 foot slab of plastic. I will buy plastic like rod stock and plate in big ass bulk numbers, and so that way I can offer guys a reasonable rate. Because like, I mean, yeah, I'm a businessman, and yes, I need to make money at the end of the day. Because I also got a family.
Sure.
I've got 2 kids, and my wife probably doesn't want me to say this, but I got a third one on the way.
God damn, dude. Congrats. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank
That's
you. So,
amazing, bro. That's awesome.
yeah, so I mean, I have to make money, but I also want to make sure that I don't price out the average Joes, the
Right.
people, the working man who wants to come home after a long day's work and be able to make love to his wife. I don't want to price them out. So what I'll do is I'll buy as much in quantity as I possibly can so I can keep my prices low. If I were to try to make, so right now I sell an Angio wheel for $254.99, which I know that's still up there, but I'm not able to buy as much of in bulk to get that price lower. I'm working on that, but say if I were to try to buy slab on demand, to try to to get angio wheels out the door faster, I'd almost double the price. I'd price out the average Joe.
Right. Right.
So so what I'll do is I'll do a lead time of anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. Like say if a customer places an order, it's going to be mailed to them about 6 to 8 weeks later. Because what I'll do is I'll get a run on orders to pay for the materials.
Right.
So that way we can lower the prices for everybody across the board. I try to make it as in reach of the common man as I possibly can. Um, so now here comes the curveball. So here comes the curveball. I was explaining all of this stuff. Yeah, and looking over the questions that you sent towards me. Um, so I'm gaining my potency back. I'm coming back to where I was as a man. I'm starting to feel confident in myself. But something else is happening too, which I did not expect. Because by this point in time in my life, I'd given up trying to get a bigger member. I'd
Mhm.
given up that approach. I'd given up that pursuit. But I'm waking up and I'm like, damn. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm going like, damn. And like, well, and I'm kind of like reaching down and feeling it. I was like, man, it must be in my head. That feels an awful lot thicker than it did a little while ago. But I ignored it. I pushed it back. I was like, no, no way, no way. But man, after a while, after I started kind of feeling it was getting all like fat and chubby, I was like, man, I gotta start taking like a tape measure of this shit and a ruler.
True.
And
True.
I'm like, holy fucking shit, my dick is literally getting bigger right now. Holy fucking shit.
Oh my God.
So finding the holistic approach, finding out how to heal myself, I inadvertently figured out how to cause penile growth. I inadvertently figured out how to cause what I call phallogenesis. Phallogenesis is basically arteriogenesis that's happening within the corporeal bodies, that's happening in the male member itself. It's just targeted arteriogenesis. Without intending to do that, I had inadvertently discovered how to grow the male member. That was never my pursuit, but that is precisely what happened.
That's crazy, dude. And it makes sense. It makes sense on a level that's like, you're talking about into like evolutionary history, the leaving the male body, studying the female body, the motion they're making, it all makes sense that there'd be a biological payoff for, a woman to get orgasm because therefore they can have a kid. And there's like this corresponding change. Because if you do cardio, there's a corresponding change. If a woman's constantly, fucking her little self on you. And dude, that's like kind of hearsay. I've talked to a lot of guys who are like, when you're having sex a lot, it just gets bigger. And I've heard that before, and I think that's true. And I don't know
It
if
is.
again, like if it's in your head, you're like, they don't get, this is happening all the time. I'm just so you think like you're the king of the world anyway, but it's like it's true. I've talked to people about that before, and I'm like, dude, there is something to be said for that.
Right, and it does it like even this far along, there's still stuff that just blows my mind. Like I try to stay humble with it as possible because I know where I came from. I came from a guy that wishes he could have been the two pump chump, and now I'm now I'm hung.
It's crazy.
You know it's, you know
Not
I'm
bragging,
I'm
not bragging. It just is what it
yeah,
is,
I'm
dude.
like this is humble bragging. I'm like I'm hitting that back wall now. Like me and that back wall, we're tight.
That's
But yeah,
crazy.
and see, at first I was kind of leery to say this because I was like, I feel like if I say this, I'm going to detract from like the holistic approach. I'm going to get guys who are going to be like, oh, let's go. They're gonna go at it with the wrong spirit. They're going to go at it kind of like you see in gyms to where instead of pursuing it as like, to gain strength and, to say do your job better, say you're like a manual laborer and you want to be able to lift like those bags of concrete or soil or or like just various products for like shelving stuff, like your average stocker at Walmart, instead of going at it from that mindset, you get guys to be like, I'm just trying to get swole as fuck,
Hmm.
so I was a little leery about that, but then I started getting, you know from the sales I'm making from these angio wheels, I'm trying to stay in contact with my customers over time. I'm trying to build a rapport with my customers. I'm trying to build a long-term relationship with them. So I'm leaving the door open and be like, hey, if you notice something, let me know. If there's something about the device you don't like, tell me about it. Maybe I can sit there and I can improve upon it. I'm trying to leave the communication channels open, and I'm getting these guys that are coming back to me and saying, like, dude, I'm bigger. Like, I'm for real bigger. I'm sitting there and I'm checking. I'm getting bigger. And after enough guys came back to me about this, I was like, I don't advertise the angio wheel as having that effect, like on places like Etsy or something where I
Sure.
sell. Places like YouTube, places like my subreddit, I let guys know. So coming back to that questionnaire you'd sent over, uh, I have not figured out a way to parse what kind of growth happens, like whether you're growing in girth, you're growing in length. I haven't figured out how to parse those two. The best answer I can give is that the growth appears to occur based on a male's genetics. If they're more predisposed to gaining girth, they're going to gain girth. If they're more predisposed to gaining length, they're going to gain length. Now, what I can tell you about the process is that growth typically shows up first, then length. Now, like again, like I was saying, with genetics, that ratio is going to change a little bit based on your genetics, but on the whole, girth is going to go up first, then length, and it's got to be because of how the vascular tree is growing, how it's so whenever this arteriogenesis is happening, whenever smooth muscles are doing that migration I was telling you about, it's breaking down collagen, it's breaking down fascia. Fascia is made of collagen. So, it's causing a remodeling. So, I had mentioned this on Patreon a while back. So, like, what you'll notice as you get into angio wheel training is that you just get fat. Like, before you actually start to get longer, like, you just get fat, man. It feels like you're holding on to like a chode or something. And
Damn.
it'll actually foreshorten a little bit, which will kind of fuck with you. Like your member will actually get a little bit shorter. But holy fuck, does he get fatter, man? You're just like, oh, and you just want
Damn.
to sit there and shake that shit in front of a mirror. It'll get like really squatty and fat, but like super chub. Like it's shorter, but damn, does it look impressive when you're standing in front of that mirror? You're like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then as that remodeling process starts to finish up, you'll start to notice that length comes back again. And when you start checking that ruler, you're actually going to find out that you've actually gone up a little bit. You've actually gone up a tick or two after that remodeling process has started to finish, and then it'll restart. It kind of goes through these cycles.
Mm.
Sorry, that dip I put in is really ripping. You'll get really squatty, but really heavily chubbed. And then as the remodeling process starts to wrap up, you'll stay a little bit thicker. Okay, like I said, you're going to gain that girth, but then you'll start to notice the length will increase. And I have I have spent the past 4 years, I'd say honest to God, 3 years trying to parse that out.
Right.
And so I started with the Angion methods and angio wheel, kind of what we've been talking about now. But I really wanted to try and figure out a way to enhance that process, to take what I had known a step further, even further than I had already gone before. And I gotta hit a wall with that big ass wall. And then I don't know about you, but I'm like a martial arts movie fan, like Bruce
Mm.
Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan, like
Yeah. Yeah.
I love those. And growing up, I'd always sat there and watched, like those type of movies, like Enter the Dragon, Unleashed with Jet Li. That's one of my favorites. Drunken Boxing, Showdown in Little Tokyo with Jackie Chan. So I had this like deep appreciation for martial arts. And there's this one move. I can't remember the movie. Really wish I wasn't blanking on the movie. This like old martial arts master, this fucking soldier looking dude walks up to him, about ready to fuck this old guy, shit up. Like he's about ready to like go to like this dude is dead. Like you're looking at this big guy approaching this little hobbled old man. And the dude goes to swing, and this old man does like this weird hand gesture, like blah 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 blah, like walks these motions up his arm. And then the guy goes, oh, like holds his
Yeah,
chest for a
yeah.
second, and then just falls back and dies. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? What is that? What just happened there? And I found some like loose little articles on the internet, and it was this thing called Iron Palm. It's called Iron Palm. So what Iron Palm is it's a study of martial arts that has to do with fluid displacement. It's about using a person's vascular system against them. It's about using the flow of blood through a person's body against them. It's about so so like an iron palm master, like a if you like an iron palm master, you can't actually defend against them. You can't defend against their attacks, because what they'll do is they'll get a hand on you and they'll try to get a feel for your heart rate, and then they'll sit there and they'll punch your body based on the rhythm of your heartbeat, in order to basically fire blood into the central cavity of your body to cause internal organ damage.
Jesus, man. That's
Yeah,
real?
it's yeah, that's real. That's
What?
real. There's a move in martial arts that is actually inspired from Iron Palm. It's called the touch of death. So basically, after after an iron palm master has sat there and fired enough blood from your limbs into the central masses of your body, your organs are basically bleeding. It's basically causing like your capillaries to rupture. It's causing like blood to pool in your internal cavities. What they'll do is they'll kind of put this finishing move to where they'll almost like gently set their hand on you to just finish that last bit of compression of firing the blood into your central cavity, and they'll pretty much will cause organ failure. And it's like the person just falls over and dies. And I don't know if your subscribers would be able to look it up. You'd probably be able to find it. There was this iron palm master back around like the World War II era. He got called out on a sailor's vessel, like show us this move, whatever. And they pull out one of these prize stallions that they had on board. He was like, kill that horse. Like, let's see this shit. Kill that horse. And the guy, based on the story, he sets his hand on the flank of this horse, which was him feeling the horse's heartbeat, getting a feel for its rhythm. And then just as he feels the blood flow come up, as he feels the surge, he presses it down really fast. And at first nothing happens, like nothing's going on. And all of a sudden the horse starts to wheeze really bad. And then it falls down on its front legs, and then it just falls over and dies. And whenever they did an autopsy, they found that it had a bleed in its abdominal cavity. It basically bled out inside of itself.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I learned about this, and I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. That's a totally cool ass subject. Don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with that.
Yeah, true.
Right. It's like sometimes you'll come across shit in research. It's like, okay, so I came up with this cool thing. Now, what the hell do I do with it? And I got thinking, I was like, well, wait a minute. So you've got these cavernossal chambers. And what's interesting, so have you ever heard the joke? You ever heard the joke that a man has one more bone in his body than a woman except during sex? You ever heard that joke?
I have heard something about that. I forget exactly. Oh, yeah, obviously, because it's in her body. Yeah, got you.
Right, right.
I have heard something like that. It always like went like heard it in
Right.
passing.
So like the joke is that the male member is a bone. It's your bone.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, funny enough, that little joke is actually true. It's actually true. So the male member is actually a bone. When we look at primates, when we look at apes and stuff like that, they don't actually have they don't have sexual organs like us. They have a bone. They have a penile bone. And it's been through adaptation, evolution, that the human sexual organs, they're no longer calcifying, but they still have the same structure as a spongy bone. The male member, based on the research, based on everything I've studied, the best way to describe it is a partially differentiated, non-calcified spongy bone. It has all of the same structures as spongy bone, but because it's not calcified, it's able to be subjected to fluid displacement. That's how my research works. You're
Mm.
causing fluid displacement, which is causing shear stress. So I was like, well, that means that if I were to say strike the side of my corporeal bodies, I'm causing blood to be pushed out of a set area, and I'm causing blood to be pushed into the surrounding corporeal chamber into what they call the lacunae. Spongy bone has lacunae. It has like interconnected cave-like spaces, which the male member effectively has. So I started trying to experiment with how to strike along the sides of the corpora cavernosum to cause deep tissue fluid displacement, which causes deep tissue shear stress. And the end result is basically just like a woody of your dreams, like just insane hardness, insane fullness. So I was basically able to add an additional step to my work, but I have not been able to figure out how to mechanically practically apply that yet. But what
Right.
guys can do basically is they can sit there and they can use their thumb, like this portion of the thumb, to bat up against the side of their chambers to cause that fluid displacement. And you end up with like a really, really thick vasopump at the end of your sessions. And when you're waking up the next morning, I mean, it's like,
Jesus. And
oh,
you're talking both sides, just kind of like bub, 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 bub.
well, what you want to do is you want to lay your member in your hand so you've got a support, and then you sit there and you just rhythmically tap up and down one side, then you switch hands and you do it to the other.
Okay.
And it causes that deep tissue fluid displacement, which causes that shear stress inside the cavernosal bodies, which kickstarts arteriogenesis, and since it's that targeted area, allogenesis. It's an additional step. Now, guys can't just do that exercise. It's not standalone like the Angion methods or
Hmm.
Angio wheel. It's sort of a polisher to your session to enhance the work that you've done. Uh, I don't really know an equivalent bodybuilding way of describing that, but basically, it's a way to polish out your sessions, make them a bit better.
It's a foam
And
roller.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Kind of
There
is,
you
yeah.
go. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like foam rolling at the end of a session. Yeah, perfect. And I've been spending a lot of money, a lot of money trying to figure out how to mechanically practically apply that, coming up with crazy different designs. And yeah, of course, making it easier to make the angio wheel and stuff like that. I can't think of. Is there any other additional questions that
First
you
of
have? Because I
all,
know I've rambled a lot. I know I
no,
have.
that blew me away. That was beyond. I mean, again, I didn't know how in depth all of this was, and like, I mean, it was phenomenal. Honestly, I'm blown away. My question that I have is, with all of this stuff you're saying, all this blood flow, what is masturbation doing? Does it reduce size? Does it not affect?
That
Is it like, what does it do?
that oh man, I'd forgotten about that one, and that's that's a
It's a
man, that's
hot
a tall
topic. If
task.
you don't want to answer, I understand because you might have a lot of
No,
people.
no, I do. No, I do. The problem is it's just so sad. It's so sad. So what masturbation will eventually cause, so like masturbation tends to go hand in hand with porn addiction,
Sure.
with what they call porn masturbation orgasm, PMO cycling.
Mm.
What will happen with that is that the muscles in your groin, after being overworked, because like your muscles have to kind of compress ever so slightly to help maintain your erections. That's just a natural part of the hemodynamics. So basically, the hydraulics of the male sexual organs. Whenever guys say beat off, they orgasm. What's effectively happened is you've got like this electrical storm that's happened inside your brain. You're getting that feel good high afterwards. You're like, like you feel great. But neurologically, on a neural level, that feel good sensation is very loud. Neurologically, it's very loud. And your body will try to protect itself against that afterwards. It will release a set of chemicals and hormones that will pretty much will tone down that. It's what's called the Coolidge effect. It's there's another name for it. I can't think of it, but basically, you know how after your orgasm, you have such a difficult time getting an erection again for a while, right? So that's your brain basically trying to tone things down and protect itself. So what a guy has to do in order to try and get past that protection that their brain has basically put in place to try and, keep it from being injured from this intense experience is, of course, they have to watch a video that's even more intense. Like, I don't know, they'd have to like watch a video like some guys licking some girl's butthole or something like that, just to,
Yeah, yeah,
just like they got to like step it up to an additional level.
exactly.
And then on top of that, they're not getting quite as much blood flow to their sexual organs as they would before, because neurologically your body's trying to ramp that down, trying to keep that stimulation from happening again, because it's very loud neurologically. So what guys will do is they'll have to tighten down their pelvic floor even more to try and take advantage of that reduced blood flow a little bit, so that way they can get hard again. And then, of course, they'll beat off, orgasm, and they'll just do that over and over again. And what will happen is that the pelvic floor will develop an overuse injury. Your muscles, after being overused so often, they'll begin to actually get weaker. They'll begin to foreshorten. They'll get tighter. And so you end up with these men that are walking around with chronic pelvic floor pain. But it's even more insidious than that. What these muscles will do as they foreshorten is they cause strangulation. They cause strangulation on the corporal bodies themselves, because they're getting smaller and weaker and twitchier. They're basically keeping your cavernoso bodies from expanding to their full size. They're throttling it. They're choking down on them. And so what will happen over time is that a guy will experience thinning. Their member will get progressively thinner over time as those muscles get smaller and weaker. And they also have a harder time developing blood flow. From my end of things, what I see is one of the first things that guys begin to notice is that their spongiosum gets less and less full, and then their glands will get very shriveled, because it's their body choking down. The cavernosa bodies themselves will initially be able to protect themselves because there's so much pressure inside there. They don't notice it right away, but the spongiosum, a lot less pressure, it starts to get thinner and thinner. The glands start to shrivel, and you end up with like what's basically pencil dick. To where guys have shrank themselves from pursuing that orgasm so frequently, causing that damage to their pelvic floor muscles.
Damn.
And and on top of that, because those muscles are pressing down so hard, they lose sensitivity. On top of that, it actually causes nerve strangulation to some effect. And I've seen it taken so far to where guys have actually caused nerve damage, to where uh, the Angion methods can help restore some nerve function, I've discovered over time. Because it's restoring blood flow, it can resaturate those nerves. And interesting fact, vascular endothelial growth factor, VEGF, the thing that endothelial cells produce, it also has an additional effect on nerve cells. It causes nerve cells to grow. So as the vascular channel grows, we do see a restoration of sensitivity. Some guys will actually kind of complain about it. They'll be like, "Man, I've become a two-pump chump. I can't last as long because it feels so good. I can actually feel more of what's happening here." But yeah, masturbation tends to thin it. And the other thing that happens is curvature.
Mm.
Curvature is another thing that happens. So if you're masturbating with your left hand, your fingers are dragging really hard on your right chamber. And that's causing a progressive amount of damage. That's causing a fiber layer to form. And so if someone's masturbating with their left hand, they're going to end up with a rightward lean over time. Their member's going to start leaning to the right. And of course, with the right hand, it's going to be a left hand lean. And the other thing that comes in here is that since guys are less sensitive, they've got to squeeze harder. It's what they call death grip syndrome. they've got to really squeeze down in their members super hard to feel anything. And you end up with all kinds of injuries that happen with that too. You end up with vascular trauma, varicose veins, because they've got to sit there and almost do a gel-like motion just to keep that fullness, and it can snowball from there. So if you're asking me, can masturbation cause a loss of size, a loss of functionality? Can it cause damage? The answer is 100% yes. One of the things I tell guys whenever they're engaging in this program is, hey, if you want to actually see a benefit in this, if you want to, if you know, not just restoring potency, but if you'd like to see size, you can't masturbate in a normal fashion. What I tell guys is, why don't you rely on the hand exercises? Why don't you use the hand exercise as a form of masturbation instead of the usual? Because I found that the usual method of masturbation, it tends to cause those effects, but these newer techniques that have come up with, they don't have that same effect. They don't have the same ramifications. So it is a hot topic, and it's just painful for me to have to talk about it because wounded healer again. I
Yeah.
went through all.
Yeah.
I went through all. I remember how that felt, and to drop that bomb on guys, it's hard. You
Yeah.
know, it's really hard, and because some of them are so addicted to porn that they can't get themselves out of that cycle, and so they could struggle with it for months, sometimes years.
It's a very
So
touchy subject because I've like tried and I've actually had a lot of success in Texas. You like can't even really look at Pornhub. You have to use your ID. And like, dude, everyone's like complaining. I'm like, this is exactly what I needed. This is awesome. It does prevent me a lot. So I've had success with like getting off of it a lot, but dude, it's such a supercharged topic. Because you get some people who are like, don't ever look at it ever in your life. And you have some people who are like, oh, what's the big deal? Indulge yourself. There's doctors like, it's good for you. Do it twice a day and it'll make you calm.
right,
It'll make you calmer and more relaxed. So it's a hot topic. I mean, look, stuff to think about. It's stuff to think about. And, I lean on the side where like, yeah, definitely less is more with that. If you're just cranking, especially when you get to the point like you're saying, it's a psychological addiction. You're like doing it when you don't even feel like it necessarily. It's just like, I just need to do this to fall asleep or whatever. It's like,
right.
and that can be tough stuff. But knowing that I mean, it definitely can. It makes sense that
Yeah,
it would fuck with you.
and you remember how you were saying how like guys who have a lot of sex, like they're definitely getting bigger. And the reason for that is it's a different form of stimulation. So what a lot of guys will do whenever they're masturbating is they do a gel-like motion. They're pulling up. They're trying to move blood against the normal pathways, the normal flow in order to try to maintain that fullness, which is one of the reasons why there's not there's not carryover. Like if a guy's having an awful lot of sex, I mean, he might be awfully dead tired by the end of the night, but he's not subjecting his sexual organs to the same kind of stimulation as he would to masturbation. So what I always tell guys is, like if you're horny, man, go find a girlfriend, go get yourself a girlfriend, clean yourself up a little bit, go get you someone.
Yeah.
Don't sit there, wanking it in your hand. Go find yourself a girl. There are plenty of lonely women out there that'll be more than happy to help you if you're willing to help them.
Yeah, true. It's true. Another hot topic, but yeah, man. I mean, that's brutal reality. And then, if it's like if you're, but I get it. I mean, all guys again. This is another topic. If you bring up beating off, every dude, if someone's gonna be like, it's like, yeah, all right, dude, you probably do it the most. Everyone does it. We all do it. It's obviously a crutch for
Yeah.
all of us.
Oh
But
yeah, I'm not sitting here like some kind of a saint saying I don't do it on
look,
occasion. Everybody
I know
does.
you're not. I know you're not. But then again, this is an absolute sensitive subject. But it's like, the truth doesn't always come the way we want it. If and people can push back, blah blah blah. But it does make sense, especially with what you're saying. Like it's not like it's not the way it was designed. Obviously, it's a quick fix. But either way, that's dude. That's pretty much all I have. I mean, I just want to thank you. I think you did phenomenally. Thank you for staying up. I know you have little kids, as do I. Sleep is definitely a precious commodity. Um,
Yeah, it's the only thing that keeps me up, man. Nicotine and caffeine. I swear, if someone cut me open, I just spew out C4 and like Copenhagen. I swear to
Dude,
God.
I saw a grandmom get onto a plane one time and she had a sweatshirt that said, I run on kisses and caffeine. And I was like, you like laugh at that. But now I have kids. I'm like, dude, it's so fucking true.
Oh, I know. As a single guy, like all the bullshit you hear about with family is like can't relate, can't relate. And then you have kids, you're like, I get it now. 100%. It's the whole mindset, man.
Really is. Well, dude, thank you so much. I'll link all of your stuff. The Etsy. I'll link it in the description. All that stuff. I think it's fascinating. I'm obviously going to get one for sure. So I'll be preaching the gospel. And I'll keep people preaching the good word of your device, and I'll try it on myself. It makes sense, dude. I can't think of I'm trying to think of like a critical. Well, dude, it just makes too much sense, honestly.
Well, I appreciate that a lot. Look forward to your business, and thank you again for having me on. It's Matt. It's been a pleasure,
dude. It's pleasure's all here. You're an absolute certified master. You're the only one who knows the answer to the question every dude thinks about all the time.
I know. I think about that daily. It's trippy. It's still trippy to me. Still trippy.
Thank you, brother. Is there anything you want to put? Do you want to say like where your Reddit is or any of this other stuff?
And
worked as an exterminator for me. There was a possum dead in the front.
No way.
And she was like, I got rid of that possum. It's been here for 4 straight days. I was like,
is that what was stinking?
I'm hoping that's what stinks. Something in this house occasionally stinks like shit.
It's probably a dead animal.
And I was hoping it was the dead animal.
Yeah, it's probably that.
Where was it located?
It was out front left.
That's where you were catching the smell.
Front left, though.
Yeah.
I've been catching it. I have been catching on this side of the house, which is nice.
That's a dead poss.
Hopefully, but it must have been
coming
dying.
through the walls.
Must have been dying for like a month in there. And then went out front to die. Finally, I don't know.
Did the right thing, yeah.
It did the honorable thing.
Yeah.
And
where did she put this thing?
I don't know.
She sells it to like a tax.
She was like, I found it. She was like, just so you know, I got rid of that dead possum. And I was like, what are you talking about?
The Wuhan lab. They're selling the animals out of the back door just to
bringing them back to life.
Yeah. We have where I live, there's a taxidermy place like right on the corner where people will bring in like their dog and they have a taxidermy. Or like most of it's hunters, but every now and then like somebody will come in with a cat, like a house
stuff cat. A cat,
and they'll do it. They go, yeah, we'll do it.
I'm gonna bring a dog in and be like, oh, is your pet? Be like, I hunted it. I hunted this dog.
No, I kidnapped this. I took it out of someone's backyard. That's one of my things.
Be nice.
Yeah, you could bow hunt fucking golden retrievers in people's backyards
all day, dude.
That'd be pretty sick.
All fucking day.
Rogan told me when we first moved here, he goes, my wife saw a zebra, and I go, oh, I don't really. And he goes, yes. He goes, there are zebras in the hill country occasionally.
What? There's parakeets. There's wild parakeets.
Well, I'm just saying that's what I was told, and maybe
there could be. There
could be. But he said that. He goes, my wife saw a zebra, and I went in the hill country. And I live out there. So I go, I've never seen one.
I'm going to keep an eye out.
Keep an eye. I'd love to see. If I woke up and I saw a zebra, I'd feel good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how it.
I had to do that with Naeem. Naeem Ali was like, in Philadelphia. He was like, I was driving and I saw a wolf on the side of the road. And I was like, Naeem, bro, please don't make me argue with you. I argued with him. We were on a road trip. I argued with him for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no wolf.
Yeah.
There's no wolves in Philadelphia. There's no wolves anywhere near that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a wolf sanctuary in like North Jersey, but I don't think they made it to Philadelphia.
I mean, if one of them got out and got on the highway and got hit and no one collected and somebody hit a wolf and a wolf was dead on the side of the highway.
It was probably a husky.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And he was like, no, it was huge. I saw its face. I was like, dude.
Like we had something in Long Island and they called it the Montauk Monster. It was a weird looking thing that washed up on the shore and people like, it's from the Plum Island Disease Research Facility, like it's something they were experimenting on. And like multiple people just came out and go, no, that's a dog. And it's just a bloated body of a dog. And no one cared. They're like, it came from Plum Island. It's a secret government experiment. And then the guy's like, no. When a dog dies, its body bloats.
It'll lose its hair
it
and
loses
bloat.
its hair.
It's going to look fucked up.
And that's exactly what it is. They're like, that's literally what it is. No one cared. They're like, no, it's crypto. It's a chupacabra.
That happens.
Yeah, that's easy. I can see how that. Yeah, if I saw it,
yeah,
I would. If somebody didn't tell me a dog washed up, I'd be like,
no, they're like,
that was a chupacabra.
Yeah,
it's a freak.
The thing, Naeem had a good point though.
What?
Because when he was like, I saw that. I saw a fucking a mountain lion, or like a cougar or whatever. And then
there was one gone there was one
back in a
Delaware
blizzard.
County Wild, yeah.
Yeah, he said he saw the tracks.
No, I'm not gonna give
Which-
him the tracks.
I mean,
I'm not gonna give him
I remember vehemently arguing that I did see Santa Claus when I was about his age when he saw the mountain lion's tracks. And if I didn't know now, like if somehow there was like a news report that they were like Santa was in the area,
Yeah,
I'd be like, I did
knew
see it.
Yeah, no, I'm
don't
not going
know.
to give him mountain lion. We all used to go hunting for that mountain lion. There was rumored to be a mountain lion loose, like in Delaware County, Pennsylvania. So you
Just
take
one?
BB guns. One, yeah,
Just
apparently.
one.
Just one.
Random
No,
mountain
but it's
lion.
true. There was.
There was one dude.
There was.
That's great.
So then everyone's like, yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
And then that justified him seeing
We
a
had
wolf.
one in LA. It was called P22. And P22 was like, there's tons in LA, but there's one that anyone ever, they had a tracker on him. And he had a Twitter account. And they would tweet out, like, I walked 10 miles yesterday. But then it would start tweeting out things like, I'm probably trying to find water. I wish there wasn't climate change so that there would be water. Like, and then it would tweet out crazy stuff. And then it would tweet out like Black Lives Matter, all this stuff. They're just an animal. obviously,
P22.
And then it started shredding. This was like the mascot of LA, this guy P22. Then it started just killing dogs and cats and attacking people in the big. So then they just quietly killed it. They put it down. This cat, this big cat that was like the mascot of like, it was on social media. Like, I'm in the Santa Monica Mountains. They would take photos of it. They'd upload it.
Yeah.
And then they just had to quietly like, oh yeah, he's lost his mind, and then just killed it. They were like, oh yeah, he's in Silver Lake now. Like busboys at restaurants are like, oh shit, because it's in the alley, like growling. They're like, oh yeah, we just gotta quietly kill. And then they just quietly put it to sleep.
I like
Damn.
that it was on the right side of history at first, though.
Oh yeah, it was doing the right thing at first.
Correct.
Voted
Doing
for
the
Trump.
right thing at
Yeah.
first.
Voted for Trump.
Voted for Trump at
They
the
were gonna
end.
build
Get these
like
immigrants out
in
of
LA, like they were gonna build like a wildlife bridge. I think they have a few of them where like in their minds they think that like,
Oh, hell no.
yeah, they're just gonna walk across because they get hit sometimes on like the 101 or
Yeah.
405, and they think no, they'll use the bridge, and none of them use the bridge. No one's seen one of them on the bridge ever. It's just like a little bridge. No one's ever.
Is it like a rope, like a zoo enclosure bridge, or is it just like a?
Yeah, it's like a weird thing that goes over the highway that like I guess like if you're a mountain lion you would just go over
Yeah.
that, but no one.
You'd have to hire people to go pss, pss, pss,
Yeah,
all day
right,
long.
right. And no one sees these mountain lions. Like no one ever sees. It's very rare. They're on a ring cam. You only see them on like a ring cam.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Damn, that's kind of cool though.
It's cool.
They'll
but-
fuck you up, won't they? Won't they
Oh,
attack
they'll
you?
fuck you up.
Oh my god.
They'll fuck you if they're hungry.
They fuck joggers up.
Oh,
Yeah, they will fuck you up if they're hungry for sure, and even maybe if they're not.
yeah, that's terrifying.
Which is
I was
all right.
scared down here when I moved. I didn't know like what kind of animals were down here, so
There's
I would like.
fucked
Here
up
you just got to
animals.
worry about like little things, like a brown recluse spider will ruin your day.
Yeah,
You know that things like that.
It's all
But
baby
it's
rattler.
rare.
it's all baby rattler.
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, little guy
That's nice.
had the
Where'd you see him?
brown spots on my trail. I was walking.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
things
fun.
like that here, but you don't. I don't think you get real big. You don't get big things
Nice.
here.
Yeah, I walked through the grass and I'm like,
I was in Arizona. We were afraid of the javelinas, the pigs.
what?
Oh,
you
yeah.
would appreciate this. I was
course.
drunk with Doug Stanhope walking around in the middle, and there was just wild pigs. And he's
Just
like,
wild.
"We gotta go." He's afraid of the javelinas. He's dressed like a fucking clown from the 70s.
Yeah, they're
There's
his
a
natural
pig out there,
predator.
and he's drunk, and he's like, "Oh, they're
Dude, they'll
blind."
gore you.
Yeah,
They'll
they
gore
will.
you
There's
right in the
packs
thigh.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The desert pigs.
The desert pigs, they
Jesus.
get into the trash at night in his neighborhood,
Yeah.
and he wanders the neighborhood at night. And he's that is his
He's
natural
mindful.
predator.
Yeah,
That's
his
his
natural
predator.
predator. Yeah, he's mindful of it.
Please let Stanhope get killed by a pack of fucking pigs.
Just eaten by javelinas. Return
It'd
to
be
the
the
earth.
funniest. He would
Crazy.
like that.
He would love it.
He would
Love
be
it.
like, please, yeah, he'd be
He
happy.
quit smoking.
No,
He did.
Quit sig?
The last time I saw him at Mothership, he goes, "I quit smoking cigarettes."
that
Damn.
sucks.
He did it.
Snoop Dogg quit. Him and Meek Mill went to Dubai to quit smoking weed.
Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think
Why
that?
did they go to Dubai?
No, well, no. I mean, I get that, but
Why,
why?
why do you think he quit?
Yeah, what do you think it was?
I
He
think
probably
there's-
has like a collapsed lung, dude.
There's
He's-
probably a real
yeah, it's
health.
probably a doctor said something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Really? Meek Mill's quitting for real. Dude, I do know guys that like smoke like 12 blunts a day, and you just can't do that forever.
That's bad.
Yeah, like you're smoking like construction paper all day, every day. Like your lungs are going.
I've had a friend that didn't smoke cigarettes and would go, I don't smoke cigarettes, but would literally have just blunts in ear, in a mouth, like just constantly. And I'm like, dude, you're smoking cigar, like inhaling cigar paper.
Well, they're sprayed with like strawberry flavoring too, which God knows.
Vanilla Dutch, strawberry Philly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so funny though. Now, if any like black dude has to quit smoking weed, you have to go to Dubai. You have to go there and
You have to
dress
make
like a
a
sheik for a
pilgrimage.
month.
I'm done smoking blunt.
It's so
Convert to Islam.
that idea makes me laugh so hard.
I've never been. Have you been to Dubai?
No.
That's people love it.
Really? I don't.
I don't know. It's not for me, but like people like
It seems like a worse like Miami.
it's people just dig it.
Yeah.
People,
What
they're
is-
trying to position it to be like the Miami of
like
the
Vegas,
desert.
Miami
the
type.
Vegas of the desert.
Yeah, I had an
New
Uber
spot.
driver tell me about it one time, and he was like hyping it up, like you can go to the nightclubs,
Yeah,
the
like
girls.
the cops.
He was like,
the
it's
cops
just
drive
prostitutes.
Lamborghinis. It's like that
Yeah.
sucks.
He was saying that you can go to nightclubs and get prostitutes. And I was like, sweet.
It's like a super rich, crazy world where you can kind of do a lot of stuff. Like there's indoor ski resorts.
okay.
Like it's crazy. Everything's got to be indoors because it's like 112 degrees. So everything happens
Yeah.
indoors.
And the cops drive Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick, dude.
No, it's
I
probably
mean, it's just Grand
probably
Theft Auto. It's just a Grand Theft Auto level. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife wants to go there, and I've been saying no the whole time. Like I'm not going.
She wants to go to Dubai.
Yeah. She wants to go to Dubai so
Tell her
bad.
no.
Dude, he crushes Black Instagram.
It does.
Yeah.
Dubai, you go,
Yeah, no,
True.
it is.
True.
Dubai is
It's a world designed by rappers.
Yeah.
It's a rap place.
it's a scourge on Black Instagram.
You got to get her to give something up when she goes.
Dubai?
Yeah.
Bickering
She
with
doing
me.
it? Bickering.
True.
She should post in a full hijab. Just,
True.
Yeah.
I'm done bickering.
I'm done bickering.
I've given up bickering.
I'm gonna put away all the stuff.
Yeah. It's time for me to put away stuff.
Yeah, I should tell her. I'm gonna warn her. Like, bro, you got to understand. We
If
go
you
there.
go.
No chirping. I'd hate to see you get taken away by the authorities.
Right.
There's going to be chirping.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting place for Black Instagram to be like, this is the place, the Middle East.
It's hilarious. I can't stop laughing about like Arabian dudes encountering just like black dudes
Meek
from
Mills.
Meek Mills, just full chic, turbaned out,
Yeah.
and just being like, "What's
It's wild. Yeah.
Anyway,
smoking weed?" It has like a weird, vaguely spiritual overtone on it, but it's just it's just a weird place. You're just in the desert, so you're like, yeah, dude, this is really important for me to do this. You just get hammered in a club and have sex with a prostitute.
Yeah.
you just have, just an Atlantic City experience.
Yeah, you could do that
Exact
in an
same
hour
thing.
from your house.
They're trying to make Atlantic City a family-friendly place now.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I know. It's a big
It's good
push.
to see them try with Atlantic City when it is hopeless.
Yeah.
It's the definition of
That
hopeless.
place is fucked up.
It's
so
fucked
bad.
up, and
Those
it should
old
just be
houses.
what it is, which is like a place for like bachelor and bachelorette parties,
Dude, yeah.
for weddings that have a 80% chance of unraveling within 2 years, like marriages, like the worst marriages.
That was my bachelor party for my first marriage.
Atlantic
You're gonna be
City.
20. You'll be the maybe you're
Yeah, I mean that's a guaranteed.
No, it's a horrible.
It's so accurate.
We did one. I mean, they're still married, but we did Mike Lawrence's bachelor party. It was me, Scott Chaplin, Mike Lawrence, Mike Racine,
Just the most autistic fucking.
and we
bachelor
just
party.
went. Like he doesn't drink, so we just went to like the Showboat, and we went to like a buffet, and then we just walked on the boardwalk. It was like tragic. It was
Yeah.
bad.
It's fuck, dude. They have billboards for whippets on
Yeah.
the Atlantic City boardwalk.
Really?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I'm not lying. They have literally huge billboards for like you can go puff whippets down there.
yeah.
was
So that's
so
maybe
fucked.
the only way to really enjoy it.
We just did
It's
that.
to be like huffing. It's a place where you got to huff.
Probably
to get
huff your
the
way
most-
into being like, this is Dubai.
Yeah.
There's the Burj Khalifa. It's like that's Ocean's
Yeah.
casino.
You're just watching a street fight. You're like, I'm sitting front row.
Conor
There's
McGregor.
Trump. You're pointing at people.
Yeah, they're in an effort to make it more family friendly. They opened an indoor water park, but it's like $112 per person to go
Yeah.
there.
By the way, the brain-eating amoebas growing in that water. Like,
Holy fuck.
it's always a tragedy. Like it'll be like 6 months from now. They'll be like rare disease closes water park.
Yeah.
Well, China's popping off right now with child pneumonia.
What?
They're going nuts. Supposedly, China has like a new plague
No, good.
of pneumonia, and it's affecting children. And their masks are on. I'm not even kidding. It's like it's
I wish you didn't tell. I wish
like-
you didn't tell Matt this.
That's like the new iPhone over there. They're just dropping strains.
They do have 6 strains.
You got a new virus.
the
out.
It's the new iOS.
You update it every
Child
night.
pneumonia.
Child pneumonia in China.
I don't want to be a conspiracy guy, but it is fucking weird that it's like another election.
Oh yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, hey, how about one that goes for the kids?
Dude, that
It's
was where they-
weird that it's happening.
yeah.
They're gonna need to pull out some pretty serious stops this time.
This is gonna be
The Dems are gonna have to pull something out.
They're
Child
in
pneumonia could do it.
trouble.
They're in a lot of trouble.
They're in deep trouble.
Yeah, child pneumonia would get it done though. That's a good one. 'Cause that last
I
one
don't
was
know.
just
You know what? I gotta be
8-year-olds.
honest.
I don't
with you.
think a disease
I
will
don't
work.
think it's gonna get it done this time.
True.
They're gonna be
All
like-
Trump has to
people are
do
gonna
is
be like, walk it off.
Show up to UFC events.
You're gonna be telling a 9-year-old who's coughing like, keep your mouth shut. I'm going to vote.
Yeah,
You know?
true. Yeah, I guess there's. I don't know. You think they'll win?
Who?
The Dems.
No.
No.
Yeah,
No.
not at all.
It's-
huh?
But they are going to have to do
Why are they
something.
running
They're going to
Biden,
put up
though?
like a desperate Hail Mary.
Why are they running by? I don't understand why they can't get a cool young guy to be like, hey.
There's no cool young guys left. The only one they might have
Gavin?
is like Gavin Newsom, who's a good debater. He's decent looking, but California's a mess, and everyone hates California, and everyone hates him and what he's done to California. Like he was the mayor of San Francisco, which is, I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
true.
third world country. And what's kind of interesting about him is how happy he looks all the time.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a state where literally it's collapsing, you can't look that happy all the time. He always kind of looks positive and happy.
True.
Yeah.
Say what you want about Lori Lightfoot. She did play the role.
Oh,
She
Lori
just collapsed personally.
Nobody did it better than her. Nobody embodied the fall of a city physically more than that woman in every respect, by the way. I mean,
What was her superhero costume?
the Corona Destroyer.
She looked like Beetlejuice.
She looked like
fucking
She looked
crazy.
crazy. She looked like the Orkin bug guy with who's like sprays things. No, there's nobody did it better than her.
I want to look at it. She literally
nobody
looks
did
like,
it better
it looks
than
like
her,
she's
bro.
on Howard Stern.
She left it all in the office, though. You got to give her that. She truly
now
left
she's
it
at
all.
Harvard.
What?
This is why we're a fucked up country.
What is she? What'd she go to
She's
Harvard?
teaching at Harvard. I don't know. She's teaching politics, government at Harvard.
What?
Just
She's
walking
Lori
around
Lightfoot is
with her
named
voice, with that voice.
Senior Leadership
Like this.
Fellow.
She was in the airport everywhere too. If you traveled in
Yeah.
Chicago, she had her like image kind of plastered up on
No,
the
she was a
screen.
Batman villain. She was a Dick Tracy villain, even, and she would like yell at. My favorite thing is she'd have a press conference, and somebody would ask a really reasonable question. They'd be like, "Hey, so there were like 30 murders yesterday," and then she'd be like, "I'm not tolerating this."
It's so good. It's so good.
So she would be like, "I'm not tolerating
And
this."
she'd go, "I'm not tolerating this. We're moving on," and they'd be like, "We're just asking." A 14-year-old shot 4 people in a mall, and she'd be like, "This is confrontational. I know where you work. I know the people you work for." And she had this like raspy, guttural voice, and she refused to be accountable for anything that would go. People just bring up what went on in the city. They go, "Hey, so a flash mob robbed and beat a couple outside of RPM Seafood last night," and she'd be like, "We're not doing this today."
Well, there was a new guy who started trying to do this chant where he was like, "If you're not from Chicago, keep our name out of your fucking mouth." And they're like, "Why do you guys have so many murders?" Like, that's our business.
That's family business.
That's family business.
Dude, you can't do that.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, let's do a chant right now.
Biden hits that. Biden hits the "we're not doing this today."
Yeah.
He just
Oh,
He just literally stops. He walks away.
Yeah,
Really?
Your thing
Every
with the
once in a while.
Roomba is perfect because you watch them
Yeah.
go. I mean, it is crazy to you go like, it's elder abuse, and it's crazy. My favorite
True.
thing about him is that they had a family meeting over last Christmas, and they reported this. It was in all the papers, and it was a big meeting in Nantucket. And they had the holiday there, and the meeting was to determine if he was fit to run again. And then they like after this meeting, they're all like, "We're all on board with this. We all think it's a great idea." And I'm like, what possibly could have gone down
Yeah.
at that meeting where they go, "This guy should go run for president again"? Like if he was
The
a
second,
math
like,
teacher,
this upcoming
if he
one?
was a math teacher, they would go, Pop, hang it up. Like there's no job he's fit to do. Like any family with any kind of decent, like they'd be like, buddy, hey, Pop,
Yeah.
you did like don't like if he was a lawyer, they'd be like, buddy, you don't have to work from home.
Yeah.
You do a case a
Yeah,
month.
the family
Step down.
meeting was obviously not real.
No, it wasn't
But
real.
If it was real, yeah, it's funny to imagine
I
what.
think maybe there's I've always had a weird theory that like they don't want someone in there who might uncover stuff because I think there's fuckery, and I think that they don't want, especially while Trump is around, they don't want somebody getting in there that might, uncover fuckery.
Yeah, they're like walking them off though, dude. Like the fucking.
Because it looks like
Burisma
it
thing.
feels like a mafia thing where they're like, no, we got it. He's good. It's like
Yeah.
it feels like what are you worried about? What are you doing? That
Yeah.
you don't want anyone else in there. It's weird.
It is. Something's fucked
It
up.
makes no sense. It's like I don't get it.
I like when he does try to answer questions,
It's the best.
and then his staff has to come and be like,
Yeah.
"Yo,"
Yeah, don't do that.
because
They're
he'll
just
go
fucking
for it.
with
If
you.
somebody asks him a question, he usually tries. To
he'll
answer.
try.
He does
He'll
his
try.
best.
And he's frustrated, which is a lot of like really old people get mad like at themselves, like they're because their brain's not working and they're like mad. And you
Yeah.
can see he gets mad that his mind won't allow him.
Oh, that's sad.
He's had a tough life. You got to remember.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Wife died, kids died, like the son dies, the wife is wiped off right with a car accident, something
Yeah.
crazy. Then the son
Son's on
dies.
drugs.
The other son's on drugs.
Yeah.
Starts dating the dead son's daughter. I mean, I'm sorry, not wife.
Yeah.
Like it's not
I
a.
didn't know Jill was the nanny.
Jill was a nanny.
His nanny that was in his car when the wife died.
I guess I
Something?
don't know.
What?
Something. Fucked
I got
up.
that. That's not a
Well,
good source.
True.
That's war
You
mode.
said their nanny died with them.
I've been hanging out with Billions, but
True.
the last couple of days, I got hit with a lot of fucking things. The nanny, Jill was the nanny to his original marriage,
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
allegedly.
She's also not a
According
real
to
doctor.
Billions Spot.
They
which
call
I
her a
do- I do
doctor.
believe.
She's not really a doctor.
No,
She's not a
she's
doctor.
like a kindergarten teacher.
It's crazy.
She's like a doctor
teaches,
of kindergarten education.
Elementary school, and they call her Dr. Jill Biden. So it's kind of nuts. I thought
Yeah.
Michelle Obama would be their best choice because
You
she's
think?
not a politician. She doesn't have a record. People
Yeah.
like her.
But she has to hide her dog.
She must be hiding
That's the
something.
only problem. The only issue is that she's a guy. That's the only
But
issue.
that's the only, like, for real. I know that's a fun conspiracy.
Yeah.
But there is something preventing her from becoming president.
No,
Because she
1,000%.
would be president in a
She'd
landslide.
be the
Every
president
day
in a landslide.
they don't announce her, I get closer to being like,
Something's going on there.
maybe she has a cock.
Something's up.
What is going on
She's
here?
the perfect candidate, except for the fact that she was a man when she met her husband.
You know what's nice is if they run her, Trump will, when he gets desperate,
yeah.
in a debate, be
It's
like,
coming out.
You have a cock.
No, Big Mike is coming out in that debate.
That's what they're calling her. They're calling
Yeah.
her Big Mike.
That's
I'm
my-
not calling her Big
That's
Mike.
my favorite conspiracy.
Big
Yeah,
Mike.
I'm not saying it. But
It's one of the
someone's
best
saying it.
conspiracies.
It's so funny.
Because it's reached the actual. It's
Yeah.
reached.
Mainstream,
It's
yeah.
reached the dads and uncles.
It has. Dude.
Yeah.
My dad and they'll be like, "You mean
No, one of
You
my
mean Big
mother,
Mike?
one of the
Get her
last
the
things
fuck outta
my
here.
mother said in her mental institution in the common area when they were, by the way, we went after she died, we went to like get her stuff, like whatever, like Beanie Babies and stuff that had littered around the room. You know, they called us and they were like, "You want to get her stuff?" My aunt's like, "We should get her stuff." I wanted to be like, just give it to the other nut jobs, right? Just give it to them.
it up.
They're not going to know who's Kermit the Frog this is. They're not even going to remember. One of them, best case, one of them might go, "That's Patty's Kermit," but no one's going to remember. So we go in there to get your dead schizophrenic mother's Beanie Baby. It's the most depressing day ever. Oh my God. And I was so thankful. One like woman, one of her orderlies, like a Jamaican lady, pulled me aside and she goes, "You'll like this. It's really funny." A couple of days before your mom died, like Michelle Obama was giving a speech, and like your mother was sitting there in her wheelchair just watching. And we went over to her. We're like, "Should we leave this on?" And my mother goes, should we leave her on? That's Michelle Obama. And my mother goes, yeah, you can leave her on. But then my mother goes, I think that's a man. So it reached my schizophrenic
It reached
mother.
everybody.
Somehow in her mental institution in Jamaica, Queens, it got to her.
That thing. That's
So right before she died, it's the last thing she learned on Earth. It was the final thing she learned on Earth. She goes, oh, that woman might be a guy. And then literally she just had a bowel
it's a
obstruction and
curse.
checked out.
It's a curse. She probably spread it to the Kermit.
Yeah.
She probably went in that room and
Yeah.
was talking to the Beanie Babies
Yeah,
like
it's a
Michelle
gypsy.
Obama has a dick.
She gives it to another guy.
Yeah, somebody's
He
gonna
gets
pick that thing up.
Yeah,
and be
to
like,
pick it up. Go, wait a minute. You do see a bulge. Look at her on Ellen. You see a bulge.
She finally connected to reality.
She finally at the very end.
But it is, by the way, there is nothing better. If it is, and that's why I want it to be true, because it's funny. There's something about it being true and then her having the confidence to free ball on Ellen and just
Have a dick hang
she's
out
like
of
one
it.
of those dudes on TikTok in the gray sweatpants who's like, take a look at this, trying to get views. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I wonder why they don't frill. It's crazy. They don't. I never thought about that because I'm like, yeah, they bring her out.
Yo, let's go. Advertisements.
Yes.
Whoa. When you're stuffing your face with Christmas cookies, you want to be wearing the right clothes. True Classic has you covered with ultra comfortable, perfect fitting essentials that are going to look and feel amazing no matter how many times you go back for seconds. You know me, True Classics. For starters, True Classics has totally re-engineered the t-shirt. Imagine that. Just when you thought the t-shirt couldn't get any better, they fucking re-engineered it.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's tighter around the arms, thank God. Chest and shoulders, I like to show off my titties. But looser in the torso. You're going to want to be wearing this to every holiday party. Matt, you look so fucking strong.
Dishonors theory. So I'm not. Sorry.
Throw a hoodie or a crew neck on. What's that?
Not allowed to name other businesses or in the ads. I named another business. My bad.
Fuck that business. Throw a hoodie or a crew neck on top for the colder days, or class things up with their brand new sweaters that feel just like cashmere without the cashmere price tag.
Okay.
So that's really good.
Send me one, please.
Personal endorsement. I like True Classic t-shirts. I wear them.
Yeah, I look jacked.
I like them on stage. They show off my fucking cool arms.
You look jacked.
Oh shit. Whatever you choose, you can't go wrong with True Classic. Guys, this is the perfect gift for you, but also a gift for her.
What?
She's going to love it. So if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now with my exclusive link at trueclassictees.com
For her, too.
/drenched and save up to 60% off site-wide during the November holiday sale.
Yes.
And November holiday sale / end of the year with holiday cheer. Jesus Christ.
Fire him.
End of the year.
Fire the writer.
End the year with holiday cheer thanks to True Classic. Guys, it's so nice. You're going to want to check that out.
Big time. Shop icy. Oh, no. Yeah. What the fuck? Shop icy smooth clouds and big savings this holiday. These guys are like illiterate who write these things. Shop icy smooth clouds and big savings this holiday seasons from our friends at Freeze Pipe.
That explains it.
True. They're high.
High as shit. Type in an ad email.
Yeah, but how can you shop an icy smooth cloud? You exhale them. Either way. The makers of the coldest, smoothest hitting pipes, bubblers, and bongs have awesome holiday deals running now till Christmas. The bongs are nice. There's never been a better time to say goodbye to harsh smoke and start enjoying cannabis the way you deserve to. The magic behind Freeze Pipe is freezable glycerin chambers that come on every piece. Just
Pause.
Just pop the chambers in the freezer for 1 hour and it instantly cools smoke by over 300 degrees. The result is a bigger, smoother, ice-cold puff without the throat burn or coughing attacks. It is true. I've done it. It definitely cools the smoke. You get very high. Freak out. To experience our favorite way to light up, go to thefreezepipe.com today and enjoy awesome deals going on now until Christmas. We're talking pipes. We're talking bubblers, bongs, dab rigs, vape pens, joint chillers, and more. Shop now at thefreezepipe.com. And if you see something you like that's not on sale, use code DRENCHED for 10% off your entire order. That's thefreezepipe.com and code DRENCHED for 10% off.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That was succinct. That first sentence just threw me off.
Guys, the greatest gift you can give your loved ones this Christmas is to shave your balls. Nobody's going to do it for you. It's time to take control of your life with Manscaped. Their new Performance Package 5.0 includes the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra Body Trimmer, the Weed Whacker 2.0 Ear and Nose Hair Trimmer, their Crop Soother Aftershave Lotion, and Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to be able to read these random fucking gibberish words? Personal endorsement.
I mean, you got in trouble in school if you're like talking about your balls and like keeping your balls nice, and it's like, now how important is it?
It is actually important to shave your balls.
Yeah.
Personal endorsement. I will tell you about it. I like it.
I can tell you. I can tell them about your balls. It's Shane's balls are so smooth.
Matt. The Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra does all the heavy lifting with 2 next-gen blade heads. It's even waterproof, so you can knock out your shaving routine while you're in the shower.
Nice.
Get 20% off and free shipping with code DRENCHED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code DRENCHED. For real, Manscaped does actually rule.
Yeah. We have 2 options for the R. I'm reading option 1. Just read option B while I read option. Just in your head. Just
oh
read
no. Yes, let's read it.
All right.
This is all right. For the record, this is their fucking choice. I've never read this in my life. I'll read my lines.
Yeah, there's your lines.
When you're in your playpen rummaging through your toy chest and you need something wholesome to squeal on, look no further than the what the fuck? Look no further than the Aura digital frame. Load it full of your favorite photos, and it even plays videos as well. I've already uploaded all my favorite pics to Aura Frame this holiday season. Pics of me and my bae living salt life, automatic. Oh, man. Pics of my flatulent family, Fort McGuire and slamming Sarah Sosa, automatic. Pics of the Irish Impact stuffing Penn State, automatic. These guys are good.
Nice.
And if it's not personal enough, you can even gift the Aura frame. That's funny you read that. To an Aura frame to loved ones and upload a video message and play as soon as the frame is plugged in. So the first thing you hear is your voice and how much you love them.
God, I love the way you think, Shane. I'm getting Baby Billy one for Christmas and filling it with all of his favorite men's health covers.
Damn, that's funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com/MSSP. That's AURAframes.com/MSSP. Use promo code MSSP to get $30 off their best-selling frames. Terms and conditions apply. Damn, the guys from Aura just trash Baby Billy. Crush Baby Billy and my sisters, my flatulent fucking
Billy's
sisters.
gonna sue me, dude.
When I moved out, I left a couple Aura frames.
Mm-hmm.
I left everything. There's no knock on Aura frames.
For sure,
It's a little story. There's a little personal endorsement.
Yeah, you have an iPhone.
Some I do set my iPhone up and just have it on pictures of my dick occasionally pop up.
Not rules. It's the best thing to give to like your mom.
Mexican
Your mom's gonna go, wow, they put pictures on this?
Mexican Jehovah's Witnesses came by.
What?
And they saw the auras and they were like, can we have these? And I was like, yeah, dude. The Mexican Jehovah's Witness ladies were like, oh my God. Gracias.
It's perfect for them, dude.
Yes.
You load all these pictures and you go, Mom, check it out. She goes,
Moms
wow.
on Christmas will go,
Wow.
that's amazing.
Wow, that's so nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. And you go next Christmas, you go, hey, Mom, where's that fucking frame? Chill out with Hamilton devices. If you're looking to get high but put in zero effort, check out the Jetstream. It's self-propelling, so all you have to do is breathe. It's got 3 cartridges, multiple airflow options, and adjustable voltage. So you can either set it and forget it or change it up to suit your mood. The gear is fucking crazy, dude.
Talk it up.
Talk up the gear. Dude, they have the fucking Starship.
Talk it up.
It's unparalleled. You put 3 vape cartridges in one thing and then smoke it and feel like a crackhead.
You're at the Starship.
The Starship fucking tripping.
It gives you the feeling of being a past regular at the Starship, like superstar Sean Gardini.
You go into superstar mode, you just hit this thing, go right into superstar mode. Another favorite is the Tombstone version 2. It has 2 wax coils, so you can mix flavors together for something totally custom. With portable gear that you can easily take anywhere, huge clouds, and awesome flavors, Hamilton Devices combines quality and convenience. Hamilton Devices is hooking our listeners up. Go to HamiltonDevices.com and use code DRENCHED15 for 15% off. Buyers must be 21 or older. That's HamiltonDevices.com, code DRENCH15. That's DRENCH15 for 15% off.
Caitlyn Jenner came to I had a Friendsgiving, okay? And I'll say this, and I don't know if this reaches Caitlyn, and if it does, God bless. But to say that Caitlyn is a masculine person would be maybe the understatement of the year. Caitlyn walks in the house. First of all,
Wait, Caitlyn Jenner came to your...
She comes with her girlfriend. Her girlfriend is a trans.
Wait, to your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, to my Thanksgiving. Friendsgiving. I invited you to, but no one's in LA. Everyone, I get it.
Damn, you
could have told me...
Well, that's why I want you to come.
You could have told me they were coming. I would have been there.
This is great. So she comes with her girlfriend. Her girlfriend is a trans MAGA influencer. Okay? So this is my dream. This is perfect for me. This is all I want. The whole party, everyone else. I love Andrew Santino and everybody, but it's about this.
Yeah.
It wasn't about anything else.
For sure.
So she walks in, by the way, she walks in like 15 minutes after the supposed it starts. No one's there yet. There's like 3 weird people that I barely know. And then Caitlyn Jenner walks in. She walks in. She's like 6'4", built like a brick shit house. Walks in. She's, a specimen, right?
Yeah.
She walks in, she shakes my hand. I go, "You're really punctual." She goes, "And I taught my kids how to be punctual too. They're all punctual." And it's like the most dad thing to say ever. And then she like shakes my hand. I'm like, yeah. So like we give her a drink and like you just like then like more people start to come. Maybe there's like 20 people there now. And then she's just talking about how no one's patriotic anymore in America.
Awesome.
And how like, so she's standing in the middle of my kitchen showing people pictures of her plane and going, "Nobody's patriotic anymore. When I won those gold medals," she goes, "people were cheering for me, but they were also cheering for America.
Yeah.
Nobody's fucking patriotic." And then she's surrounded by LA godless scum, who have to swallow this message. And like some of them are agreeing. And her trans MAGA influencer girlfriend starts going like, has kind of a low voice, but she's like, she goes, "Well," she goes,
Kind of a low voice.
"Well," she goes, "I think," "I think that one of the real problems with this country is that nobody appreciates it for how good it is." And I'm like, yeah, and we're just rah, and it's just it's the craziest moment.
I like that you did have LA people there that had to be like, they're famous. I have to listen to what they're saying.
You have to listen to what they say.
Yeah.
You have to listen to what they say.
That's a powerful couple.
That's, by the way,
Trans MAGA?
it's
awesome.
the best couple.
Got the shivers.
It's my favorite couple in LA. Nobody does it better than those two.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That's awesome.
I love them both, and I want to get dinner with them, and I want to be part, whatever that is, like that whole trans MAGA.
Oh, yeah.
I have my own plane movement.
Dude,
Get me into that.
you're doing like gonzo journalism. You're like ingratiating yourself with the freaks.
Well, it's just when you hear just, you see these 2 women and then they're talking and they're going, "The problem with America is no one's patriotic." It's really beautiful. It's like a beautiful
Yeah, it
thing.
is.
It
is like a bunch of things just
That's the higher
coalescing.
level,
Just
then.
coalescing into
It's
one.
a high
Black MAGA gets me fired up. Trans
True.
MAGA might be fun.
Trans MAGA.
That's the
Fuck.
peak.
That's the top. That's the top you're gonna get.
Yeah, I'll pass out. If I watch enough
If I
trans
saw
MAGA, I'm like, I just fucking lose consciousness.
Here's how strong MAGA is. This is what I think about trans
Like
MAGA,
going
which
through
is
fucking
great.
G-force in a simulator.
You're stuck to the couch. It's so powerful. It shows MAGA is so powerful that like it won't be stopped.
Yeah.
Can't be stopped.
Dude, get into MAGA rappers.
It will eventually reach everyone. That's what's great about it. It's just reaching everyone. There will be non-binary MAGA eventually. Like you'll just see a fat, like non-conforming weirdo with blue hair, and then they'll just put on that hat. It's just like, it's like COVID. It's like you'll get it. You're gonna get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about how you're gonna get it. You don't have to analyze it. You're gonna get
You can
it.
tell everyone it's fake.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You're gonna get it.
You're gonna get it.
Like, I'm so embarrassed. I did everything I could to prevent myself from getting it.
I tried so hard.
I've been in my apartment for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I've been wearing this hat for 2 straight fucking weeks.
Those aerosol droplets.
I woke up one day and there was a hat. I just
Yeah.
was wearing a red hat.
And she's great about Caitlyn Jenner. She said, I'm against
was
gay
at a party.
marriage.
Guys had some good ideas.
She's against gay marriage. She goes, I'm an old-fashioned girl. I'm against gay marriage. When she came out against gay marriage, I couldn't love a person more.
I'm an old
I
fashioned.
couldn't love, when she said I'm an old-fashioned girl, I don't want gays getting married. I could not love. I remember I had rented a house and I was on the beach, like we were in Malibu. We rented it for like 2 days, and I was there, and I was just like, I read that article, and I know that she's in the area. She like lives in Malibu somewhere, and I just like looked out. I'm like, I don't know
she's
where
here.
she is.
You can feel her presence.
But I just love her so much for saying that. Just going, I'm an old-fashioned girl, and I just don't want queers getting married. She goes to a country club. She still kills it on the course. Still plays great golf.
That's awesome.
She's probably shooting like a 70.
Yeah.
She's probably nasty.
Iconic.
I think Caitlyn made a presidential bid. Or no, government of California.
Governor of California.
It's got to come.
There's a great thing. She's in like a little car, and then like she's going down some crazy parade route, and then someone just yells at her like, "Madam Governor," and then she just raises her hand. But here's the thing. I was following her gubernatorial campaign, and I was going to contribute.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go to whatever. I'm like, whatever events there are to this, I'll pay any amount of money to just go to this. Let me just witness this, like up close. Like I don't care if I die broke. Let me get near whatever like brain trust is in a room with her. Like, you know that documentary about Clinton's first campaign? It's like a famous documentary, like James Carville and Stephanopoulos. I forget what it's called. I think it's called The War Room, where they're all like working out like the positions and like what he's going to say. I'm like, let me get in that with Caitlyn Jenner, please. And then she left. This is what sucks about California. She gave up to be a contestant on Celebrity Big Brother. I'm like, you don't really care about the future of California if you're just going to leave to be a contestant on Celebrity Big Brother. I'm like, you don't need any more money. You're already one of the most famous people in the world. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a weird move.
Well,
Although
add it to the list. I mean, what the fuck? It's
It's a
perfectly
bunch of
rational
weird
move.
moves.
True.
I'll support.
Never
I
let them
still
guess your
believe.
next move, dude. Never let them guess.
I still believe.
Unpredictable.
I still believe big time. And seeing her at the party.
She was running too early. She was 4 years too early.
She was 4 years too early. I think
Next run, there's going to be, like we said, there's more of that trickle down. MAGA, it's hitting everybody.
Yeah, no, she's
She's got to have some support. People are going to be very confused.
I think that is the future.
Yeah.
I think trans MAGA is the future of America.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
It is.
there's just the
It's just truly getting into whatever you want to get into.
it's
No self-filtering.
It's really riding the rails.
I'll say this. I don't even like when I'm playing an online video game and somebody puts their character in a dress.
True.
If I'm playing Call of Duty and somebody's dressed not like a soldier, I'm like, fuck this game. So now we got a whole. All right, whatever.
Yeah, but
I
then
do
think
think- I
if
think
that
we are-
person's in a dress
Yeah, and
and a devout follower of Donald Trump, then there's something about it.
I totally agree. That's where it switches a
There
little.
is something about it where you go, this is kind of nice, you know? Because
Yeah,
you know all the bullshit, the annoying things about trans people go away if they're MAGA.
Yeah. Well,
And
they
the
also
annoying things about MAGA people almost go away if they're trans.
Of course.
True.
Because MAGA people get a little annoying, but if they're trans, that probably tempers that. So we might have found the perfect person.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like wizards on the battlefield of the culture war.
They are.
Nothing can touch them. Just
Nothing can touch
I like the idea of keeping, because I know we always blame like Russia and China for all of our
everything.
all of our cultural problems.
Yes.
We're like, those are Russian bots producing BLM.
yeah.
Yeah.
I bet Russia and China are sitting back and watching America like,
What is? Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, they
are
have
they
no
doing?
idea. Russia's like an old society.
They must be so confused.
They have no idea the things that we get into here. They're so confused,
They're
and
like,
then they're
when they
confused to learn that they started it all.
When we invaded, well, not invaded, when we helped support Ukraine, they must have been like, what? And then with Gaza and Israel, they're like, what side are they going to be on?
Yeah.
Like, just everything we do, they must be like,
Yeah.
Kanye, I mean, they must have got reports of Kanye on Alex
Did you
Jones.
give like a Russian intelligence briefing?
Yeah.
Briefing Putin. They're like, this guy going full Nazi.
They're like, what the fuck? are
Because they have
doing?
to study that. They have to
True.
see like where we are at any given time. So they're like, the biggest celebrity in America
Is a Nazi.
about to endorse Adolf Hitler. And then Putin's like, well, they're not going to care that the Ukraine has SS tattoos. They don't give a shit. No, the Russian cultural briefing on what's going on in America has to be
Chaos.
the chaotic, crazy thing.
It must have started funny.
Yeah.
Like the first couple years, they must have been like, America's, this is funny. And then now every day, it's got to just be like, wait, what? What?
Imagine them hitting
just-
Afghanistan with just like a dude in a dress.
Yeah.
They would they would clench their teeth and scream. They would be like, "What?" They would spaz.
Why are we doing? Like, they must be.
No, now they're just explaining trans MAGA to Putin. They go, so there's two movements that are merging.
He's probably killing intelligence officers. He's probably like, this is not correct. He's like, there's no way what you're telling me is happening.
He's like, they're on drugs. He's like, we send them over there. They get addicted to drugs.
CIA fucks them up, sends them back.
Oh my god,
It's hilarious.
that's wonderful.
It's so funny.
Yeah, you hear about that. Yeah, I hear about that every now and again. I'm like, I'm glad that exists, but I never got like the full fucking scale of that. It's so nice.
Well, it's just so funny because like you got to imagine like because the way they talk about it, they think like the way people say it, it's like China and or Russia is basically like we got to find like men to get pregnant in America. Like that's our strategy. Like it's not about like ports and control of natural resources anymore. We got to find dudes who will say they're menstruating and like put them in
And then fight
Oberlin
about
College.
it. And then fight about it for 4 years. For at least 4 years straight now.
Which if they're doing it, it's like the greatest and most hilarious attack plan
It's
ever.
perfect.
Yeah.
Genius.
Just
It's funny.
making a guy join the swim team at Penn.
Yeah.
That shuts the country down for 5 months. Everyone's
6 months.
They
We're
think that
ruined.
swimmer's been like
And then
tortured in a
what's
Russian
great about
camp
these
for 3
people is like,
months.
then they just
Definitely
go
a
away.
Manchurian
Where is
candidate.
Leah Thomas now?
What?
Where is Leah Thomas now? Like, they
Oh.
just disappear.
Back in Moscow.
back in the gulag.
She's back in Moscow.
Mission complete.
She's in China. There's just a photo of Leah Thomas. She's 7 foot tall. There's all these Chinese people around her. She's welcome back as a hero.
She's
Tiananmen
probably in a
Square
Chinese.
right now, riding a tank going.
She's in a Chinese aquarium right now. Just pops out of the water like, whoa.
Oh, Red Thomas is so strong.
Oh,
Red
Thomas.
Thomas is so strong. Cripple America economy for 6 months with her great swimming.
It's hilarious.
The psyop that China and Russia are putting on us is
It'd be
working.
amazing.
God damn them.
But I have zero faith that it's them.
No.
Everything. This is all us.
Because we're a country that's just, you have all the ingredients for the crazy that's going on.
Yeah.
You poison the food.
True.
You know what I mean? You poison the food for like 30 years. You make the drugs, the prescription drug. I mean, everything.
Yeah, for real.
All of it, over the counter, all that stuff. You give everybody that.
You give an entire generation of kids meth.
You give an entire
for
generation of kids
25 straight years.
And just
You
fucking
stress everybody out to
shatter
the
their
point where they're,
worldview.
like breaking.
Yeah.
And then you go, let's see what happens.
Yeah, you're alone
Yeah,
in the universe
let's toss
and you're nothing.
TikTok and
Yeah.
Instagram into
Here's
this.
TikTok. Here's Instagram.
Let's reward people for
Yeah. Shameless behavior.
moaning in a guy's ear at Home Depot. Which those are funny. Yeah. They're so fucking
Those
funny.
are great.
The guy turns around like, hey, motherfucker, you get the fuck away from me. Man. What, daddy?
So that is the best. The kiss. See the kiss guy?
No.
There's a guy who goes around New York and just kisses the top of bald people's heads, and it's the fucking.
They probably love it.
No, they get furious.
People get mad.
He's hitting like Honduran immigrants, dude.
Oh,
and
no.
they turn around. They're like, he's hitting like
He's gonna get stabbed.
that dude. I don't know. He's a pretty big dude. So he creeps up behind people and just goes right on top of their head. And they look up and they freeze. They're just like, what the fuck? It's just a big guy just going like, bye. And he just slinks away.
It's just so funny if
fucking
like
funniest
someone, if someone knew like back then, like that was going to replace like the Drew Carey show.
Whose line is it anyway gets replaced by
It's like, you know,
making guys mad about their sexuality.
it's like that used to be Home Improvement. Now it's just a dude kissing.
Bothering.
Just 2 minutes of it, too.
And it's
Just a
great.
2-minute video.
That's all you need.
Yeah, 4
Yeah.
kisses. And you're like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've been watching a lot of drones bothering homeless people.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's so good, dude. Just drones circling.
There used to be a
homeless
guy who
people.
would follow fat people with a tuba and go, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And like you see fat people turn around like, yo, what the fuck?
Because they know that's the fattest instrument.
I think I've seen people try to chase him and he plays it fast while running.
Oh my god!
I mean, it's the most.
Oh my god!
It's just evil, dude.
It's so funny though.
Yeah.
It's objectively funny to play the tuba. If he played
It's
any
so
other
funny.
instrument, you're like, what is this guy
No,
doing?
the tuba's number one.
No,
Break
it's
it on the
great.
tuba. You're like, oh, I
I think it was from Family Guy.
It's, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And he
there's a
just
Family
does
Guy
it.
sketch where they're like,
copies
that's
it.
a fat guy with a tuba. Or a guy following a fat guy with a tuba. And then a guy saw that and was like, well,
I'm gonna do that.
there's my career. I'm going to do that. I'm going to
gonna do
bother
it.
these people.
I'm gonna sell 7 T-shirts.
The guy's sitting on a bench just.
I wonder if there's money in any of it or if it's just for the love of the game.
I think it is love of the game. I don't
And I
think
guess eventually they get money. Like
I
eventually
mean,
they
getting
try.
home and uploading that must feel so good.
Oh,
It's
man.
probably
like,
funny.
wait till you guys fucking see what I did today.
Yeah. They'll throw an ad on it eventually.
Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan.
Yeah, right. Morgan and Morgan will get in that game.
If you get punched in the face after kissing a guy, we
Morgan
got
&
you.
Morgan.
Morgan.
Have you been assaulted by Elmo at Times Square because you kissed him and grabbed his dick? We're going to fucking fix that.
We have 100 nationwide offices that can handle this.
Yeah, it started.
Yeah.
That's like kind of where it started. Like the freaks out front of like the Chinese theater in LA.
Yeah.
The naked cowboy.
Right.
That used to be something we all sat back and went, look at that fucking weirdo.
Right.
Now everyone's that.
Now
Yeah.
everybody's trying to be that.
Now
Oh,
everyone's
yeah,
like,
very
that's a
naked
successful guy.
Yeah, they go, no, that's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Like that's what we
Yeah, I
want.
remember thinking I remember watching reality TV and I was like, oh, this is going to change people's personalities. I was like, that's nothing, dude. That's just people arguing at a party.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a guy naked, dressed like the Tin Man, just like poking
cock
people's
out.
buttholes and running away.
Yeah, well, I think reality TV helped us get there.
True.
Yeah,
True. That was a bridge. That was
because it was like it's like that was like just shameless behavior. Like there was a time when the idea of like you have an argument with your wife, the idea of like 3 guys standing in a room would be insane.
Remember that dude
True.
that punched Snooki in the face?
Yes.
on Jersey Shore?
And no one did
The
anything.
cameras are there and he
Yeah,
still
the cameras
punched
are
her.
just there. No one, not
Punched a
one
woman
guy
in the
did anything.
face.
Nobody did anything. They just with the cameras on her.
That's crazy. I saw a thing, T.I.'s son. Did you see the clip of T.I.'s son? He went on Instagram Live to yell at his mom, and then T.I. beat him up.
Wait, how old is he?
He's got to be a teenager. He looks like he's like in his very early teens.
And
on
he's
IG
yelling at his
Live?
mom on Instagram Live.
He's on Instagram. I don't know if it's his or somebody's Instagram Live, but he's on Instagram Live in his mom's face. It's like the footage isn't
Yeah.
the best as you can imagine. But
T.I.
it's
whoops
like,
his ass on camera.
Ti gets in his
Comes
face.
into the
You
room.
can't see it. He's just there. It's like a you know, he's like an Instagram Live of like a side of his face. Be like, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you. There's a bunch of people chatting.
Oh,
he
man.
shuts it down. He's like, you're embarrassing your family.
I know everyone says it, but thank God we didn't have social media like that. I would have gone on
Oh,
Instagram.
God
I would
almighty.
have gone on Instagram Live and cried
Yeah.
so many times.
Yeah, just got my ass
Like
kicked.
5th grade cry.
I fucking parents kicked my
Dad
fucking ass.
hit me just now. And we need to report this.
My schizophrenic mother would have been making money.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Like we could have turned that into
Yeah.
gold. If we
Yeah.
did that the right way.
Yeah, true.
You know, just she would just drive her van and I would just sit in the front seat with the phone like this, like, go. Just
Yeah.
talk. Just talk. And
That
then,
is reality TV is where
True.
it definitely started. Because I remember when reality TV started, every single family, if you ever went to visit somebody's house, they'd be like, we could be a TV show.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Our
God.
family is so funny.
Oh, it was the
we
worst.
should be a TV show. And
Yeah.
then they gave us all cameras, and now everyone
Now everybody is a TV
is a
show.
TV show.
But I remember that people would be like, they're missing out on gold. You know? They're missing out on gold, not having cameras here.
It's just someone being like, the mashed potatoes suck, and a woman being like,
right.
fuck you.
And all it meant was
Which
like,
is gold. I would watch that
right,
all day.
that's true. All it meant when they said we could be a reality TV show is that we are terrible people. That's all it meant. We're terrible. We're
terrible
petty.
people, and our youngest brother quotes Anchorman.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's hilarious.
That's all it is. We throw fits when we don't get exactly what we want. We're terrible people.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Luis Gomez should be a TV show.
Well, Luis
Of
Gomez,
everybody I know.
in the
could.
early days
He
of
could do it.
Periscope, Luis Gomez, it was like years ago, would walk home on Periscope. And he'd film his walk home. And I'm like, what are you
He
doing?
would skateboard, he would ride his bike.
Yeah, it was great.
He
And
used
I'd
to love
watch
his
it.
COVID updates.
Oh my god.
He did a live. He would go on live and just smoke a blunt on his fire
Dude,
fire
he would get high on his fire escape and be like, yo, the real interesting thing about that is like it's so interesting. And he would never say what it was. He would just be interested. It's so fucking interesting if you think about it. It was so fucking funny.
Yeah, I would pay to watch Lewis's day.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
awesome.
He's great at that.
I'd love to see it. Then there's the Jamaican episodes where he goes to Jamaica,
Takes the whole gas
takes the gas
staff.
digital, takes those oddities, those freaks.
Yeah. Goes down to Jamaica.
Yeah, he is. He would be great actually.
Yeah.
Would
He'd be
great.
good. There's a few people that would be really good.
Yeah,
You know?
I'd be terrible. I wouldn't be that.
I
good.
would be. It would be unbelievable.
Yeah, I'd be
How
quiet.
bad it would be.
I would just be red and just be like,
Yeah.
Who else would be good? Lewis is probably my number one.
Lewis would be number one. There's nobody better than Lewis.
No.
Because a lot of the episodes would be he's almost about to fight someone at Best Buy.
Yeah.
Before, and then people have to get involved. Like it would just be like the camera guy's like, no, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. And they're pulling
him out.
And then 10 minutes later, he's having the time of his life.
Yeah.
And he's the best
They're
guy on
just
earth.
smoking weed, having fun. But a lot of the episodes would center around dragging him out of a strip mall before he physically attacked, like someone at a party supply store who's like fucked up at the balloon order for his son's party. You know, you stupid whore! Like you fucking whore. He said the funniest thing I've ever heard once. I don't know why. We spent Easter one year. I was with him, his son, and like I had people there. We were having Easter at Amy Ruth's in Harlem, and like, I don't know why this was the thing. He remembers this, and the waitress was, let's just say, unmotivated. Okay.
Oh, he's on their fucking ass.
Yes, and it's like Easter, so it's like, you know, who gives a shit. So Lewis called the manager over and said, I quote, "It's the maybe top 5 funniest things I've ever heard in my life." He goes, listen, he goes, we all want water. He goes, I know the waitress is getting a money sign tattooed on her stomach. But when she gets back, can we get some fucking water? And he said it's
oh my god,
it was the craziest. It's Easter. It was amazing. He's still my probably one of my top 3 people
Yeah.
ever.
oh, he's the
I
best.
mean,
for
you
real.
forget how much you love him, and then like when we were over here just
Yeah.
watching, we just watched his live stream of him playing Call of Duty. It's so fun.
It's
He
amazing.
just reads it, fully reads the
He's
chat.
reading the chat. He's like, "Yeah, fuck you, pussy." Fucking right, doggy. Yeah.
The best thing is when he threatens to fight someone on Twitter. He goes, "I'll fight you right now."
Didn't he get in a beef with fucking Anthony? No,
Opie.
What the fuck was that about?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean, what? I mean,
Yeah, true.
I mean, that's true. What's the meaning of life? That's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of an
What was that
open-ended.
about?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a broad question.
yeah, that's a.
that is a broad one. But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck could they be fighting about? But it's who knows? It's a shame. I hate seeing them fight.
It was fun.
The fight.
I enjoy it. Anytime Lewis gets into Twitter beef, I'm there.
He's
I'm
built
watching.
For it. He's built for it.
Yes.
The best was when
Oh, he's
early
couldn't
Gas
be-
Digital,
yeah.
when it was Ralph's apartment, they would have a team meeting, and I would go. Like we'd all sit there, and Lewis would have a team meeting, be like Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, and he'd walk in, he'd just like smoking a blunt, and he's like talking about. He's like, all right. What's the ad sales division? And it's just like this retarded woman from Staten Island. Like someone who's like slow. And You know?
He was like a fat
They
cat,
had
like a
the-
business tycoon.
The boy, like, how are we looking? People are like, I don't know.
The monocle.
No one knows.
It'd be like someone who took like a 5-hour bus from Staten Island there, who's like learning disabled. And he'd be like,
You don't
he'd be
know
like,
the computer? Figure out the fucking
yeah, he'd be like, Dana's going to be handling our new ad sales division. And she'd be like sitting there, like staring blankly.
They had
It's on methadone.
yeah.
She's on Suboxone, just foaming at the mouth. He's like, she's handling our integration, our vertical integration.
There was a highlight this week I was watching of
Her briefcase is a plastic bag.
She's got a shopping bag.
she like slams his plastic bag on the table. Takes out a sandwich.
They had a reality show. They were going to do a reality show. They were
I mean, they
filming-
should have done a reality show.
Oh my
They
Sal,
should do it.
Sal from Practical Jokers was producing this, and I think the people like Sal, like I think like his people eventually were like, hey, like they
Yeah.
just started looking at some of this footage. They're like, what? Wait a minute. They're like, what do you do? Like, you were a star on a huge show. You were going to produce a show.
They should still make this show.
Yeah. No, it would be an amazing show.
Yeah.
So it's like, but Sal was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a show showing a young podcast network, and then I think like eventually people at Warner Brothers were like, wait a minute, what do they watch? Like they probably watch like
People over at Sony.
it's just juggalos defending rape for 30 minutes. And then the people at Sony, and they probably really like Sal, so they're probably like, hey, this was great, but we just feel
Gonna go in a different direction.
we're gonna go in a different direction. When the who is it, Lewis? Yeah. When he calls that woman from Staten Island a retard and she seems a little slow, that's something advertisers don't really want to get behind. They don't really want to get into that.
It would be the fucking
It would be the
funniest.
best.
I mean, think of them turning it on more for the cameras.
Oh,
It's already crazy.
yeah.
If
And
you
then
threw
just-
some cameras in there, people would, yeah.
Yeah.
There was actually, they did a boxing match this week between,
Another one?
Yeah.
Dylan and Krakamiko boxed.
Oh, they did the rematch.
And there's a clip I saw on Twitter where Lewis just forgets he's the ref and just was watching.
Well,
And
when it
they're just
started,
fully
it
in a
was-
clinch for like a minute. And they're like, Lewis, break it up. Like, oh, shit.
I did that when I ref
People
basketball.
stopped and watched it.
Dude, I used to ref basketball and space out, and I hear like I'd be like, "Oh shit!" and people start yelling. I'd be like, "That way!" And
Out
they'd be
of
like, "What the
bounds.
fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh."
Hey, when it started, it was in this little room. It was a spare room, an apartment on Avenue B, and like it would fit like 4 people and it was tight. So if it was like me, Zach, Miko, Lewis, and Mullen, and then the producer, and in the room, and it was like tight. It was like tight.
Didn't Lewis have I definitely have talked about it. Didn't he have a all tile apartment?
Yes, he talks about this. I never saw it. He had a fully tiled
all
apartment
tiled apartment with
at one
a
point.
like feral dog that lived in
with a
there
dog
with him.
that lived there that was like feral.
That like would attack everyone.
Yeah.
He had a full tile apartment.
I don't know where you would even find it. It was a bathroom. I think it was like one big bathroom.
That's
And he
awesome.
was in there with a dog.
Dude, he's the
amazing.
funniest dude in the world,
He is.
for real.
Oh fuck. Well, yeah, that's pretty good.
That's an hour. It has to be.
Oh,
What
we're
a
so
dense
close.
fucking 53 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a good 53.
It's a great 53.
quality
Caitlyn Jenner,
53.
Lewis Gomez. No, I
Well,
mean, you know, we cover a lot of stuff. You know,
Mountain Cat.
just the
Lions,
clack, like the tile apartment. The idea of just like to him, because you know, like he's like change is dropping at the end of the night.
Oh,
Bottles, just the sounds.
the dog getting into stuff,
The
getting into the
dog's
trash,
nails
him
scraping.
yelling at the dog,
the echo just bouncing off the,
the echo
wall.
off the tile walls, him screaming at a dog makes
Yeah.
me laugh so hard. Of him, what was that dog's name?
Wish I
It
remember.
had such a funny fight. It was like,
Dude, the best was Tommy Turner's mini Doberman.
dude, Smokey? You talking about Smoke?
Yeah,
There was this dude we did comedy with that would come home high and drunk, and he had like a mini Doberman that was a full Plum Island
Yeah.
creature.
Monster.
Like fucked up teeth. It had like glaucoma. Its eyes were gray. And he would come home and like hold a piece of steak. He'd go on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
It'd be like, look at this, Smokey. Fuck you, Smokey, the dog. He would pick it up, and the whole time he was holding it, it was like, and he's like, oh, Smokey. Smokey.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
My friend had a mini Doberman. He used to give Wawa cappuccinos to every morning. And the dog got diabetes. He was like, I didn't know he couldn't have cappuccino.
Yeah. What's wrong with him?
He would get a cappuccino for himself and a little like 12 ounce for his dog. He's
For
like, he
a
loved
dog
it.
that weighed 10 pounds.
Tiny dog would drink a fucking 12 ounce.
He just killed it with Wawa cappuccino. He just killed his dog.
He went blind.
That was a Montauk Monster. It's just someone in Long Island, some piece of shit poisoned their dog with French vanilla creamer and then just said fuck and then threw it in the bay.
He didn't know. He for real
walked out to sea.
For real didn't know. He was
Dunkirk.
like, he's like, he loves it. He's like, he loves it.
Yeah, it probably does.
The dog was hyped, dude. You go over there, it's like,
I mean, it must have been the worst dog possible.
it was pretty bad.
It's got to be up there with Smoke. Smokey seemed like for real the worst dog I've ever seen. And I like Tommy, so I don't want to trash his dog, but
That was a bad dog.
yeah.
I have a bad dog.
Jax?
Blind
You
dog.
got a blind.
My dog's fucking blind. It ate 14 chocolate cupcakes.
No.
Lost his sight. I
And
swear
then
to
it went
God.
blind right after.
I had to fly him here, so I had to put on like a fake like therapy dog vest and then walk a blind dog through the airport.
That's
I was like,
crazy. Was it from the chocolate?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because it could see fine, and then it ate those 14 cupcakes, and it was.
How did it
fucked up.
get to 14?
It was for my daughter's birthday party, so we had like dozens of chocolate cupcakes stacked, and he just pulled them off this bench and just tore through the box, ate all of them. He was going for the second box, and we found him.
If you go over to Matt's house, he'll show you that his dog's blind.
Yeah.
Oh
Nice.
You'll throw
It's a
something
good
at
trick.
it.
Now he goes, hey,
go
watch
give
this.
him, you go give him like a snack in his head, like you hold a piece of food, and he's like, he's like nose is fucked up.
So he doesn't know where.
He doesn't know anything. He just lays in the sun. We put him out in the sun now. He just lays out.
He's
in
a
the
very
That's
cute
probably
dog.
fine for him.
sun. He loves it.
He's a really great dog.
He's a nice dog.
Yeah.
It's good. You got a yard.
Dude, exactly.
Chill. Yeah.
I'm telling you, he made out the best with us moving. He just lays. I took a picture of him today.
He just
in the
went
sun.
blind. It's
Went
perfect. Perfect. You move to Texas, you go blind, you just lay out in the sun. That's what we're all trying to do. That's really what we're all trying to do.
Just stop
We just want
taking
someone
in.
to lead us out into the yard. That's what it's really all about.
That's about it.
It's
I give him a
about it.
CBD treat.
Yeah.
He's
There you
lays
go.
there like,
Yeah.
That's nice.
yeah,
It's crazy.
good guy. Good
I
dog.
think that's an episode.
I think we did it.
I think we did it.
Tim,
Dude,
Thank
thank
you.
you. That was
Thank you.
awesome.
Both
Thank
so
you.
fucking funny.
Jesus
Appreciate
Christ,
it.
man. Killed me.
We're going to do a Patreon episode. You're welcome to stay.
I'm gonna go. I gotta do my own.
Totally
It's
fine.
never ending. None of this ends.
No, I knew that was.
This
I'm
is
going
the
to go.
thing.
That's why
Colin
I
Quinn
did it.
said to me once, he goes, when's the season finale of any of that? So I'm like, there is, it just never ends.
It never
doesn't.
ends, yeah.
It's good. All right. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Appreciate you.